team games are very hard to cast, right?
Mm-hmm. All right. So where are we?
Dave.
What map is this? Canyon.
Yeah, this one is called Canyon, and I've added 3 very new maps to the map pool to make things spicy, to make things diverse. And I'm also planning to always have new maps for the future events as well, right? So this is just one of them. And literally, as you can see, it is kind of looking like Arabia. For me, it's kind of a mixture out of Arabia and slopes. Because on the sides, you can see you have a high ground, right? Where you have extra resources. And you have that on the left and the right-hand side. And in the middle, everything is fairly open. So, yeah, I like that map. And I was thinking, Dave, I want to have that one.
Yeah, I was thinking slopes, the one from Hidden Cup, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so you have the edges on the side. They're a little bit less, and you don't have the wood line all the way around. Also, you don't have those shorefish and deer, but it looks like there's still the occasional pond with shorefish. And Villese has still gone for Indians, which were a really popular pick there, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. What you saw there was Indians, Khmer, then also Bulgarians and Mayans, Aztecs, right? These were kind of the main civilizations there. And we also see, as you already mentioned, Indians being picked here by Villese. He is not going for any laming shenanigans. He was using the scout to push in the deer. And then on the south side of the map, we also see Nicov here playing in the blue trunks as Khmer. And he is being very greedy as well.
So they're really far apart from each other too. Is it just going to be scouts opening here? Are we going to see a divergence from the Arabia 1v1 meta on the rank ladder, which is just basically Drush men-at-arms? Is it actually going to be scouts again, Jordan?
It could be, right? Because it feels like, especially with how fast both of them are upping, I feel like scouts is just the only thing which is going to come into my mind right now, which we will see.
All right, so neither player is starting on the walls yet. Oh, no. Okay, Villese going out, just trying to wall between the woodlines. His woodlines are actually quite nice to wall off. The only problem for him is that he's not going to have any gold behind there if he does that. So he's really going to have to leave. His golds are actually... Wait, what is up with his golds? I see 2 there for Nicov. One of them is really safe, and the other one is a little bit far forward. But I guess Villese is big time struggling for gold. Does he even have a third gold?
Doesn't look like that. Like, he has one in the... 2 in the front, right?
Yeah.
But other than that, on the side he has one. And the south side, the 3 gold piles are there. So, yeah, he's definitely not having too many gold piles around him, I would say. But it's equal, right? Like, Nicov has the 3 golds as well. So, no problem there, I suppose. Nicov reaching Feudal Age faster. So he will be able to get a lot of damage done on Villese Scout. And yeah, that's a slight advantage for Nicov, right? And Nicov going for stable right away. And that's usually a lovely thing for Khmer, right? They don't require the barrack to be able to build the stable. So the Scout Rush is very smooth. Also allows them to up a bit faster because you don't need the wood for the barrack there. And what you usually do with Khmer is you try to get the scouts out as soon as possible. But you have to be careful to wall in time, not allowing your opponent to enter your base with scouts and pikes or spears, because that's something you cannot combat.
It's kind of a trap with Khmer to go just for the stable or just for the archer range without the barracks, because then if you're panicking, it's going to take you time to get spears on the field. I really like the way Villese is walling here around that gold. So he's immediately identified that, and he's going to finish up the wall on the left-hand side, and he should be pretty safe. And I think Indians against Khmer, you probably want to play this a little bit more passively, because your Castle Age feels a little bit better than them. So if you can take no damage getting into Castle Age, you should have the advantage.
Yeah, it's in general a very interesting matchup, right? Because I feel like both civilizations are very close in terms of strength.
Up in the house?
Like Indians are... Sorry, what?
Oh, sorry, I was talking. Sorry, I was chatting privately with Nicos Villager. I'm sorry, Jordan. I'm cheating on you. I apologize.
I deserve that after stealing your idea, Dave. All good, all good. Yeah, but nice save for Nicov here. And yeah, they're just playing around with the scouts right now. Nothing too drastically going to happen, I think. But Villese is reinforcing the army with 2 additional scouts. And that forces Nicov to retreat because 4 against 3, that's never going to be a good trade here.
And I think Villese is going to send spearmen forward too. At least he's got one of them as he's trying to complete the walls. As soon as these spearmen show up too, suddenly Nicov can't take any of these fights. He's going to have to make sure he's fully walled, like you said. And the walls are going to be down for him. So both players will now just kind of wander around, realizing there's no holes, get full map vision, and try to make their way to Castle Age as soon as they can.
Exactly. And that's the reason why it's so important to get the walls in time, right? Especially as the Khmer player. And I would be thinking that Nicov will be up to Castle Age a bit faster, right? Like the Khmer farming bonus is just so lovely. And not also requiring the additional military or the buildings allows them usually to go up faster. But then, as you said, Dave, and I agree with you on that one, I prefer Indians here in Castle Age due to the fact that they can have a nice combination out of CA and add anything to that army composition, right?
Especially on a map like this where you're really trying to control the middle and like find areas to expand, especially with your wood lines. You're fine if they're going camels and you're fully walled up booming. But as soon as they add some range units, siege or CA, then your wood lines are super exposed. And you have to kind of get the momentum in your hands. Do you think like a forward position with Khmer would work here? Or do you just go into like a more defensive style?
I like the idea of forwarding the siege workshop, for example. So what we likely are going to see from Nicov is 2 stable play, knight play, and then go for a siege workshop forward. Great trade by Nicov here, by the way, picking off the remaining scouts from Villese. And yeah, as Emran said, right, like you have 2 stables producing knights, and then the siege workshop forward, and then put on the pressure. And if Villese was to go for archer ranges and CA, that would not be ideal. But I think by the way how Villese is playing this kind of tells me that he's going more toward the camel situation.
Also, doesn't really like that gold is super exposed at the front. If he ever gets kicked off of that, going CA is going to be extremely difficult. You almost want the camels just to prevent the forward from coming, and then maybe you can switch into CA if you need to.
Yeah, exactly. Especially when your opponent is going for pikemen. That's the moment where you have to realize, okay, this is now the moment where I have to switch to CA. We indeed now see Nicov building this 2nd stable, and we also see that Villese is completely on top of that. So he gets the confirmation right away, and that leads him to go for a 2nd stable himself as well. So we will see camels against knights. And Dave, I don't think that's the best trade for the knight player.
And Nicov actually lost his scouts too, and Villese would probably go into monks as well. So Nikov's actually making an extra scout, probably to get himself some vision, but also to help snipe the monks. If Villese is going to add those behind the camels. So that was good from Villese to kill those, but also great from Nicov to add that in the transition period. A lot of players wouldn't do that.
Sure. Exactly, and it's so crucial. This move here is so crucial because you have the possibility to then see what your opponent is going for, right? And if he's doing something weird like going forward, then you have the knowledge there, and knowledge is so important in these kind of situations. 35 villages against 32. However, Nicov doesn't have wheelbarrow. Villese does. So I would say Villese has a slightly better economy compared to Nicov here. And yeah, both are just waiting until they're getting Castle Age. Like, they're neck and neck in this one, Dave.
This used to be like, we used to see Scout v Scout with walls a lot. And it's actually kind of refreshing to see it again. I'm so tired of watching 2 militia run across the field, dude.
Really? Is it bothering so much?
Yeah. Already? I cast a lot of T90 games, and it's literally all he does.
Really? Okay, so 2 militia into either men at arms or into archers.
Wait, it's either 2 militia into archers or it's 3 men at arms into archers.
Yeah. It's always the same, right? Scout play is not gonna happen.
No. Anyway, second TC from Villese. No second TC already from Nicov. He's going to go a little bit heavier on military production, and he already has the monastery. Villese, though, making camels right now, getting a husbandry, and he's trying to take out these scouts immediately, and he'll likely add a monastery as soon as he sees the knights here.
Yeah, he will. I'm kind of surprised that he has not done that yet. A camel is taking some damage as well. And yeah, these camels are going to be able to keep those knights away. And the great thing for him right now is a great timing regarding the husbandry. He will be able to chase down those knights and get some extra damage here. But the monk is going to be coming in there as well for the
He killed all the
rescue.
Scouts. He killed all of the Scouts. That's actually, like, they're the weakest unit on the field right now, but so good against the monks. And Villese going for a TC way over on the left side as he loses the camel.
Conversion.
Yeah.
That conversion, Dave.
I looked away. I assumed it wasn't going to get converted. I looked away to the TC.
It seems sometimes that they have 15 range instead of 9.
Yeah.
It's so crazy. Like, it's once they are, creating that certain bond, it feels like they never leave anymore.
You create a bond with your
20.
monks?
Like, not like the monk has bond with the unit, which it's about to convert, like, bam.
Another conversion. He's trying to pick off the monks and might try and get out of here. I think this is still a better fight here for Nicov.
Yes, it is.
Mistake from Villese to lose
Yeah,
that. But he actually gets away with 4 camels. And he's going to run, and Nicov does not have husbandry yet. So if Villese didn't add a monastery before, he should add one now. Because look at how weak all those camels are, and there's the monastery right there.
Yeah, and he's doing that right away, right? And now it could be a little problem for Villese if Nicov decides to engage and he's losing one camel in the process. Yeah, that's not ideal here for Villese. And that's the problem if you're being a bit too greedy and delaying your monastery, right? Because in those kind of situations, yes, you have a bit more villagers, but yeah, he's not paying the price for it. But in certain situations, this could break your neck. And Dave, as you said, the TC on the left-hand side for Villese, lovely stuff. I was surprised at the beginning when I was watching the map if people are going to do that.
What is
expand in that direction?
Okay, so Nicov has actually gotten wheelbarrow in a game, and he chooses to get it with the Khmer of all sims.
No, like Dave, Nicov has played phenomenal the first 2 series. It's crazy.
Nice.
Like he's going for economy upgrades. I was like, is someone smurfing here? Like Nicov is playing so much on point here.
All right,
another engagement coming in.
Yeah, Monk dropping the relic, and the knights are enough to push him away. And this is just gonna be build up your Castle Age army, get something that you can transition into a better unit in Imperial Age. And I guess the question for me revolves around the Khmer, because you can get Cavaliers, sure, but it feels like you're gonna have to switch units at some point. Whereas the Indians, they can continue on with the camels, and then they can add in maybe some cav archers if they need to, or maybe some hussar for raiding as well.
Exactly. Like the composition for Indian and Imperial Age is just so much better, right? You have the CA and hussar play, and especially in those kind of maps, right, where it's super open, where all your economy could be easily exposed to hussar raids. It just feels like the Indians should be ahead in this regard. And Khmer, I feel like in this situation, they kind of have to play this in full Castle Age with Knight and
what is this
Pikeman
fight?
combination. Wow, was that a fight? I'm not sure if that was a fight.
Well,
it was a slapdown.
He only really created a bond with one of them, so
the good old bond.
yeah.
Oh. Yeah, not ideal for Villese. And he's trailing behind in terms of army size, 13 to 20. And I think even this fight is bad for Villese here. He's just completely outnumbered, Dave.
Is it going to be pikemen here for Villese?
It looks like that. It looks like that. He's going for scale mail armor. But he should not do that. Like, pikeman is not the unit you are going to go for, or you want to go for as the Indian player. You want to go CA and camels or whatever.
I'm just wondering, like, what is he? He knows the knights are there. He has monks and camels, which should be, and he's fully walled, which should be able to deal with that. Yeah. Usually, right now, you would want to tech into units that would start to counter the late game composition of your enemy. And pikemen are not doing anything that the camels aren't.
Exactly.
Maybe he's concerned about gold access. I mean, it might
Gold
be a gold
accessor.
issue as he goes for
Yeah,
another
that's a good
TC on the
point.
gold to the north.
Yeah, that's a good point, Dave. It must be the gold issue. That's the only reason why, or the only explanation for that, right? And now Nicov is going forward with the siege brick shop.
Mm-hmm.
After he has gotten the map control, and I absolutely love that move, right? So Nicov is playing very methodical. And let's see, we will see another engagement here, and that one should be good for Nicov again.
Yep, monks sitting right inside the knights too. The camels can't target those, so that's 2 bonds formed. But there's 4 monks here from Villese as he targets all the different knights there, and he's gonna get 3 of his own potentially.
Yeah.
Not enough.
He's losing everything. He's losing everything, Dave. Complete domination here by Nicov. Completely overrunning. 8 army against 24.
And he gets what, scale mail armor, forging, and iron casting before he even creates a single pikeman.
Yep.
What?
Yep. Yeah, I feel like Villese has not played that one too smoothly here. And just the sheer numbers here, and especially Nicov, he has already the scorpions available on the field as well. And from that point on, it's just gonna be Khmer completely overwhelming you. And we also have Nicov with a stream of villagers as well, which were for sure going to plant a castle here. So very solid performance by Nicov, I have to say.
And like, Villese just feels like he kind of outthought himself, you know? He's getting a little bit too far ahead. Maybe thinking about that gold issue. Maybe thinking of a little too late game. Instead of just let's win the fights. Also, he took a couple engagements. Like, did he really need to take that engagement against the knights with the camels there? Did he really need to take the first engagement against the monks near Nikov's base? I don't know.
Exactly, Dave. Exactly. And these are the things which snowball pretty fast in these high level games, right? I've been in these kind of situations a couple of times in my life already. And yeah, it's like when you're overcommitting, when you're taking one bad fight, especially early on, it can break your neck immediately, right? Especially on the high level, players have become so good to really leverage your mistakes there. I'm not sure if that is the right way to say it, Dave, but I think you know what I'm trying to say.
Punish your mistakes.
Punish. Okay, thanks.
Yeah. You can leverage mistakes, I guess, too. Maybe. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. I don't know. Sometimes I have those moments where I feel like, okay, it's time for me to say something special. And then I
something
kick myself.
Super intelligent. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Statistics also say that Nicov has traded very more efficient 35 kills towards the 15 deaths. And yeah, economy was also very equal, right? So by just having the better army stats is just gonna be enough then to bring home the game.
So do we have like how does the home map situation work here?
So it's like ABBA. So both players are picking
ABBA?
ABBA for the win.
Take a chance on me. Okay, go ahead.
Money. So yeah, that's what we have. And the drafts are working in a way that both players have one global ban, and then after that they are picking 2 more civilizations than there are maximum of maps. So if we have a best of 3, they are picking 5 civilizations. For the finals, 5 maps, so 7 civs are being picked, and then each player has 1 snipe as well, which leads to 6 civilizations for 5 maps for the finals. Yes, I think I answered that very precisely, Dave.
And I'm sorry, but I kind of stopped. No disrespect, but I kind of stopped paying attention. Like halfway through.
All good.
You know what it is. I just like I completely phased out, bro.
Just let him talk. It's fine. It's fine. I've been in that situation a couple of times in my life, especially in school. Like you have that person talking, and you're just like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
It's fine. But thanks, Dave, for your honesty. Oh.
All right, so we got Persians Malians in the next game. And
This,
oh,
this
Nomad.
must be Nomad.
Let's
Yeah,
go.
Persian's Nomad. And both players are playing Nomad very often, right?
Mhm.
I mean, Villese a bit more often than Nicov in recent times, I would say. But Nicov also very well aware of the Nomad shenanigans. And yeah, he should be feeling very comfortable as well, I think, especially with the way he's playing right now. Okay, Dave, do you want to have the honor to introduce the players on the map, please? You do it better than me.
All right, so we got Nicov playing in blue. He's going to play in the north. And looking at his TC spot and his dock spot, I think it's a little more unfortunate than Villese for sure, because Villese will likely find that dock from Nicov very soon. Nicov has an opportunity to lame that boar maybe. But he's also, I would say, he's pretty far away from gold as well. So Villese cuts off the 2 golds near his base. Could be a bit of an issue. Villese, safe dock, pretty far away from Nicov, and the town center, not looking too bad either. And Nicov is going to lame the boar. Okay. Is this allowed?
Oh,
TC's up. We're fine.
Yeah. In theory, I think it should not be allowed, honestly.
What?
Nicov didn't read the rules, I guess.
But
Let me quickly.
The TC's up. It's past 3 minutes.
It's past 3 minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, it's fine then. Yeah.
Yeah, see, you didn't even know the rules. You're like, 3 minutes?
Nah.
Yeah, it's fine. Whatever.
I would never expect someone to lame. Like, what the hell is this? I have to have a talk with, like a serious talk with Nicov after.
Yeah, imagine pro players laming. I just can't.
Nah, this is not allowed here. Let me quickly check for the Nomad.
I mean, Nilly would have already kicked him out of the tournament. He'd be on a bus back to Argentina, bro.
Oh, great stuff, great stuff. Laming wild animals is not allowed.
Oh.
Is that a wild animal?
Well, it looked pretty tame to me. But these deer... The ibex, I don't know if they're wild or not either.
I will have to ride him.
Is this boar wild?
Yeah, I have to message him, man.
What about the turkey or the goose?
Let me ride him. Oh yeah. I hope he notices. I will message Villese real quick as well.
I mean, it's only a boar, 4 ibex, and soon to be another boar. It's not that bad. And maybe a turkey.
Yeah.
You know what his response going to be, right? What are you talking about? It's Nomad. What are you talking about?
You know what he said? He said, what's the point on playing Nomad then?
Yeah, see? I knew it, dude. I knew it.
No.
I cannot lame.
So they are restarting the game right now.
Alright.
One sec.
Well, at least we got that sorted early.
Yeah.
A severe lack of checking Wikipedia going on there.
I'm just reading. The following rules apply only on Nomad start and only pertain to
just commit to it. You've already told him.
Yeah. Well, I think I've made a mistake. Could be. When did he start laming?
Well, he started shooting. Now, this is complicated because he started shooting the boar at 2 minutes and 46 seconds, but he killed the boar at like 3 minutes and 15 seconds.
Let me quickly. Are you sure about the numbers? I have to quickly check.
I'm sure it was before 3 minutes because I looked at the timestamp, but he killed it after 2 minutes.
Okay. Well, how is laming defined,
Well, that's up to you. I mean, we've already called him back. They restarted the game. No,
but for the future. Like, I'm sure this is going to happen once again.
I think that, like, once you aggro the boar, it should count as laming because the other player can't really take it back. So, like, in that situation, it's not so much because the other player couldn't see it. But imagine, you're laming a boar from the other side of the map with a villager. If you attack it at 2:30, but it doesn't die until 3 minutes, you've still denied that from the other player. So it should be when you attack it.
Yeah.
So you're technically right here.
Man,
It's
dude,
fine.
Dave, you just saved me. Thank you so much.
I was
like
looking for an out.
literally, I was literally like, oh frick! Like I was only reading the bullet points, and then above I was like, oh, there is a cap of 3 minutes. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh shit. But yeah, good, good. So overall, I made the right decision there.
Yep. And now,
Was
oh
not-
no, Jordan,
yeah.
but this is terrible. They know each other's civs for Nomad. This is awful, man. They've revealed so much.
Yeah, that's
Persian
problematic, I
Malian.
think.
Oh god.
Now it's so much easier to think about the long
Strategize.
term. Yeah, like I think I have to completely tell them to restart the set here.
Yeah, please switch the civs.
Oh god. Okay, Dave. The game is apparently up again,
Yep.
and yeah. Let's see. So you can do everything after 3 minutes, apparently.
Everything after 3 minutes is okay. You heard it here first, folks. So syncing the game, dropping the game, pulling the plug, everything is fine.
But it has to be after 3 minutes.
Yeah, as
Right?
long as it's
That's
after
the thing.
3 minutes, exactly. All right, so we have Villese playing as the Malians once again. Nicov as the Persians. Wouldn't be Nomad without a few restarts mixed in here. And Nicov actually has himself a better starting point now with gold closer to him. And the dock is further away from Villese, so Villese is going to struggle to find that. Plus, he has these deer around. It's a pretty good start for both players, to be honest.
Yeah, for sure. I think Nicov can be even happy with that restart because I feel like his position is definitely better right now.
Yeah.
Especially the dock position, right? In the previous game, the dock placement was everything but ideal as it was so close to the edge and also very close to Villase's main base. And right now, it looks very equal for both players. Villese, he is one villager ahead, but looks of it. So it seems like his start was a bit better.
He had the
but
TC
it's
up
not
30 seconds
TC
faster,
up.
probably.
Okay. Yeah. So that definitely helps, but it's not gonna be a huge factor.
Half a villager ahead. Also, 1 second idle TC time for Nicov, completely washed. Oh my god.
Exactly.
How did he even take a win in this tournament?
Exactly. I mean, that's 125 of a villager, right? Like, you cannot have things
Disgusting.
like that.
Yeah.
It's disgusting. How can he be in the finals, man? Like, seriously.
So I can
Okay.
definitely tell
Yeah.
the difference already between player organized tournaments and caster organized tournaments. Because
Tell me the difference.
the previous map was completely like meta land play, you know. Players are far away, wall up into scouts, do that kind of stuff. And now this Nomad generation is a big blob in the center where players start on either side of the map. And it's basically just like the last map, except with a ring of water on the outside.
Yeah, well, but Dave, as you were the organizer of a very famous Nomad tournament this year in January, you should know that things like that, due to the randomness of Nomad starts, that's just something that happens.
No,
It can.
yeah. I'm just pointing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just pointing out the different priorities between casters and players. You know what I mean? Because like as a player, you want things to be less random. You know, you want things to be a little more predictable so that you get a more consistent gameplay. But as a caster, we want things to be as random as we can make it while also making it kind of fair, just to get those entertaining situations.
Yeah, I understand. But you know, it feels like having Nomad in the map pool is always an important thing.
Yeah.
Right? Because people just love Nomad. Yeah, and I remember, Dave, the good old houseboat, which you were responsible for getting in the map pool.
I
Thank
love
you.
watching Houseboat. I love watching that
Yeah,
game.
have you ever played it yourself?
Yes.
No, okay.
It's a
So
shit
you
show.
it's a complete shit show.
I know, it's great.
Like, yeah, it's like a complete shit show. I remember having a talk with you and was like saying, I like the tournament itself, but the houseboat, get the shit out of here. And it was like, Jordan, that is the map I'm responsible for.
Yeah. I'll own it.
I like. Okay, so regarding the approaches, I think there's not too much deviation, right? If you're looking at the scouting intel, which Nicov has right now, he doesn't know anything about Vilese's position at all.
Yeah, he's looking for
And
the
if we're-
docks right now.
Yeah, he's looking, but that's gonna be a
And
long
Villese
run.
found the dock from Nicov. So Villese,
Yeah, that's
and
a
he
huge
still
thing.
has a turkey left over, and he's actually angling his way towards Nikov's TC. So Nicov only has scouting and ideas of where Villese is via process of elimination. So he's explored all of this shoreline to the north and a lot of it to the east. So he's gonna assume that Villese is at the bottom of the map there.
For sure. I mean, how would you say in English, process of elimination, right? I think that's even the term.
What I just said. Yep.
Exactly. I was just trying to sound a bit more
You
professional.
did. No, you sounded great.
Thank you.
You're doing fantastic, honestly.
I'm just still trying to get into this casting thing, you know?
All right, so there's a dock forward from Villese. But Nikov's actually up first. He's up 5 seconds earlier, and they're going towards the same shorefish. They're both looking for a shorefish to dock.
But that's much better for Villese here, because
He's closer.
he's not paying attention.
Nicov sees it.
Yeah, Nicov sees it, and you can definitely tell he paid attention to that. And I like the fact that Nicov is walling his villager in, right? But in theory, if Villese was that villager, that means that Nicov can only have 2 docks, while Villese has the option to build.
Better off to attack this and force the idle time, because Nikov's going to get there with like barely a second dock up. And no third dock either. And Villese is going for his third already.
Yeah. But his main dock is further apart, right? So that in theory... Oh, I like the move that Nicov escaped the situation. Very nice done by him. 25 villagers against 22. Let's see. How many wood? Okay, 300 wood in the bank for Nicov, and let's not forget his persons. So he will be able to produce the fire galleys a bit faster. That's just how persons work. And the quick walls have been very successful here for Nicov. So nice start for Nicov, I would say. And due to the fact that his docks seem to be closer to each other, I feel like he should get the advantage here, Dave.
Mm-hmm. But the fish from Villese are also further away than the fish from Nicov, so he has a risk of losing those, and he's probably going to have to run away with them. Still, they could shield the fire galleys as well, as Nicov just gets his third dock up. Villese still only 2 fire galleys in production, so he didn't even go for a fire galley from his original dock.
Yeah, 2 docks, 2 fire galleys coming up now for Villese, but yeah, I think he's always going to be a bit behind due to the faster production for the persons, right?
Also super hard to clear up their docks once you've cleared up the navy.
Yeah.
Like, it just takes forever.
Yeah, 4,800. No, 3,600. What the hell? I thought 4,800. Never mind. In the meanwhile, Nicov also walling himself, so he wants to be 100% committed to the water play here. And Villese, yeah, he's trying to raid the fishing boats a bit, but I feel like he's not gonna be too successful here. And he's going to lose those 2 fire galleys. 5 against 2, that's not gonna be the thing.
As long as he can hold the navy here from Nicov, I think he's okay. As long as he doesn't lose outright, because he had 7 fishing ships behind, and now he's going into demos. He's actually done a good job to keep most of his fire galleys alive. As I say that, he loses one, but takes one from Jordan. Now he's going to pull this back to get repaired. Maybe. Oh, it dies anyway. Tragic.
Yeah.
Demos! 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 Oh!
There was a huge shot. A huge one.
Massive.
You were calling it. You were calling it, Dave. The good old demo shot.
Mm-hmm. Tato
How
would
do you
be
like...
proud.
He would be proud. How do you enjoy the fights between fire galleys when 2 are hitting at 1 and the one has the repair of the villager?
I hate it. I hate everything to do with fire galleys.
You as well? I absolutely hate it as well.
I feel like a feudal age water should only be galley and demo rafts.
Exactly.
I do not like fire galley. I don't like any of the mechanics. I
No.
do not like it.
No, I absolutely hate it. Like, absolutely hate it, right? Villese, in the meanwhile, he has added a barrack, so he knows that he most likely is going to lose the water here. And he will try to buy himself time now. With the demos. Try to keep his fish alive as long as possible.
Go up to castle.
And try to make something happen with the stable.
He needs a market though, and he doesn't have the wood for a market. So if he had a market, he could sell the stone and buy his way up maybe.
Yep.
But
yeah, go ahead.
Doesn't have the wood for it, and he needs that wood for the stable that he's building right now.
Yep. And the thing is, the huge advantage Malians have over Persians is that they have greater monks. They have better monks, right? And yeah, Persians don't really have too many answers against that. So if we see a monk, stable, and siege push by Villese, that's going to be very tough for Nicov to defend against. And Villese, indeed, he is going up to castle age already. And Nicov, he's just way far behind in that department. And also, his fishing, like, Dave, has he not realized that he has not killed any fishing boats yet from Villese?
I think he might just assume because he saw the 3 docks that Villese went for like the standard 4 or 5 fishing ships. And it's 7 instead, and they haven't been pressured at all. To be fair though, his really haven't been pressured that much either.
Yeah, exactly.
So like, maybe he thinks it's like pretty even on the food count, but I mean, it's ridiculous. Villese has a huge advantage here.
Yeah, a huge one. And now Town Watch coming in for Nicov. I'm just wondering what he can do to stop the siege monk aggression at all. Like, I don't see anything he can do there. And I just love the fact what Villese is doing. He keeps on sending out the demos to try to raid fishing boats, right?
And he's
on the north side.
Adding another dock there too.
Mistiming here. Did you see the Nicov was misclicking and building a fishing trap out in the nowhere?
No, I didn't see that.
Like, man, it was a panic move, right? On left hand side, Villese has built another dock, so that will guarantee him a great fishing economy, and that one looks very safe. And Dave, we see indeed Siege Workshop and Monastery.
Malians help out so much here. Just saving that extra little wood on all this stuff makes this push a lot more viable. And I mean, Villese didn't go for that market. He didn't sell his stone, so he still has 200 stone in the bank. So if he gets himself a good position, as he goes for a transport ship now,
I love that move.
He can actually add TCs behind this if he does some damage to Nicov. But yeah, Knights in a transport going into Nikov's base is going to be devastating.
That is such a great move, Dave. That's something I haven't even thought about. It will completely annihilate the wood line here on the south side of Nicov. And the siege is definitely guaranteed to join the fray and to be able to get inside as well.
And Nicov finally searching for Villese's fish. He realizes they're not down on those docks. He's searching there. Nicov now going for houses against the shoreline. I guess Nicov got Town Watch. He could see the transport ship coming out. And he's just going to go for quick walls here. This is the disadvantage, I guess, of going for the transport. If your opponent notices it, might as well have those knights over on the other side where the mangonel is going to push through.
Yeah, but it's still, I think it's still worth it because
There's a hole
it forces
there.
so much. It forces so much reaction. Where's the hole?
Those quick walls were filthy from Nicov, and the knights get in anyway. Oh god! But still, no armor on the knights, so the TC will be able to do really good damage.
Yeah, and Nicov has, I feel like, improved a lot in terms of quick walling. Feels like he even has assigned a new hotkey to that.
Yep.
Oh, the knight is most likely going to die, isn't it? Oh, 6 HP, 6 HP. And that one can be so annoying. Okay, spearmans are going to come out. But yeah, now I'm just wondering, Dave, if we are going to see redemption monks. There's absolutely nothing Nicov can do. Nothing.
I feel like
the fishing boat is still alive. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, maybe even just some water units for Villese would be good. And he's going for a fire ship up there. Like, I think you've done quite a bit of damage here. You just add TCs and go water. And that's exactly what he's doing. Like, you go for get fire ships on the other side to hunt the fish from Nicov, and then you defend your own fish at the top. And you're always going to be in front in eco.
Oh, saving the Mangonel with the great quick wall here, but still he's losing so many villagers in the process. And yeah, Dave, as you mentioned, like very nice moves here by Villese, and that's something he's improved so much. I feel like very recently, the fact that he is able to have the great balance between pushing, you know, making your opponent react with the push he's going for, and in the meanwhile also having great economy.
He is losing his
behind
fish, though. Nicov showed up somehow. I don't know where those fire galleys appeared from, but he's got 5 of them, apparently. And there's a demo ship on the way out from Villese. He actually converts a full HP fire galley. So he's going to buy himself a little bit of time, try and get these all bunched up, and then jump out with the demo ship right now.
He will.
LOL!
Villese, please. Villese, please.
Oh! Not enough, though. Not enough.
Oh, 7 HP.
This is enough, though. Like, you're booming
yeah.
behind. You're laughing.
Yeah.
You got deer to take at home. Like, you're fine.
Yeah. And also on the right-hand side, he cleaned up 2 fishing boats as well with the fire galley. So not too bad for Villese, I would say. Even though Nicov has the water control right now, he still seems to be in a very good position. And Nicov doing a great attack move with his Mangonel.
Oh.
Pikeman coming in as well. And that Mangonel is going to be dead without any exchange here. Is it going to be that? It's going to be that.
And the Knights can just heal up behind, so... Villese
Exactly.
is laughing, and he's got 3 TCs behind this. He may not be producing at all times from the TCs, but he has the potential to. And Nicov, like you said, he has water control, but he doesn't have enough water control to feel confident in adding too many fish. He's queuing up some more right now, but at any point, Villese can just send in some fire ships over to that side and kill everything.
Exactly. And that's the big problem on Nomad, right? That your fish is just always going to be in risk. And yeah, Villese is doing a very smart move. Like, I feel like the way he's playing this map is just textbook Nomad play.
Even killing the market's going to be very annoying for Nicov.
Yep.
His eco is going to be really unbalanced, and later on that's going to come into play. Pikeman taking some shots. Nicov, he needs to go like 1 for 4 with this Mangonel, and he just lost all the pikemen, and now he loses the Mangonel. Tragic.
Yeah, complete tragic. Villese has done a great job in microing that one, and I like the move. Committing to the shots here onto his Knights, because Knights can sustain the shots a bit longer than the pikemen. 2 of them were killed, yes, but he lost 6 pikemen in the process, and that was overall way worth it for Villese, I feel like.
Nicov can't see that gold in the middle, by the way. He's gone to stone over on the right side.
Oh,
and I think that's because his main gold is being cut off, and he's thinking about selling stone for gold potentially. But he can't see the one in the middle. He's going out with an outpost now.
Yeah, he will be able to get the information here. The Mangonel micro of Nicov is superb, right? It's just something like I feel like he's one of the top 3 in terms of Mangonel micro, with MBL and Lyri most likely. And yeah, let's see. You know, even if he has only 1, it's always going to be dangerous to engage into that.
You wouldn't put doubt in that list?
He's, you know, top 4.
You mean your micro doesn't get better if you shout micro while doing it? Imagine, oh my god.
Yeah, he's just another level, you know, Dave.
Yeah, obviously. Innovator.
Yeah. Look at it. Like 1 Mangonel pushing 4 Mangonels back.
For a limited time.
Yeah.
Don't bounce up against the stone. Oh god.
Oh.
Okay, close enough. And redemption's on the way. And look at Villese's resources, like looking really good. Capture age tells us the eco is similar, but most of that is fishing ships, or 8 fishing ships for Nicov, as he goes for a TC on that gold in the middle. And the army for Villese seems unstoppable at the moment.
Yep, it looks like, right? And especially now with the redemption monks coming in for Villese, I feel like you as the Persian player in those kind of situations where the economy is just not like fully going on yet, it just feels like a checkmate situation, because you don't really have a counter to that. Your monks are not that great, and You cannot really stop the Manganas from pushing forward, I feel like.
First, Nicov gets wheelbarrow as Khmer, and then Nicov gets wheelbarrow on Nomad.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
Yeah.
He's
like
a changed man.
Yeah, he has definitely changed, 100%. And now he also shows Nicov that he indeed has redemption, right? Because he's converting the barrack here. And Nicov is just panicking with the TCs here, trying to build another TC for safety reasons, but oh boy, Dave, this is not looking too healthy for Nicov right now.
No. And usually you don't want to convert pikemen, but Nicov has nothing else to convert. So
Exactly.
Villese is perfectly happy converting those. He's just going to take all the momentum away. He actually might get this Mangonel with the monk. Does he get it in time? He does, but he still loses it. Still, that's Nikov's only form of defense.
Yeah.
Persian TCs are tough to take down, sure. But when you have no military to counter the Mangonels whatsoever, and there's 4 of them, it's going to be a bad time.
Exactly, it's going to be a bad time, and also Villese has enough stone to build a castle forward as well. G to the G!
Yep.
Nicov is forced to tap out of this one, which means we are going to go into game number 3 with a equalized score.
And that's what you get, lamer.
That's what you think about it the next time you do something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Think about what you've done.
Go into the corner. Yeah, that was, I would say, like, not to degrade anything here, but it was not the most exciting Nomad.
Nope.
But it was definitely very standard from Villese and very textbook play by him. So if you want to learn how to play proper Nomad, this is a game to look at.
I think like the issue is Nicov didn't hunt his fish down early enough.
Yeah.
There were so many fish still alive. Even if you just like when you have the firm advantage, even if you send a fire galley around the other side, right? You know it's completely open. You're gonna get to his fish eventually without going through his navy, and you're gonna start harassing that. Also, I wonder like what happened with Nikov's food eco in Feudal Age because Villese, whether he grabbed another boar if there are any on this map, or maybe grab more deer or something like that, he had a much better food economy.
Much better food economy, which also transitioned or translated to getting to Castle Age way faster. I think 2 minutes, if I'm not mistaken, faster into Castle Age as well, right? And that way he was able to put so much pressure on land that Nicov was always forced into the defensive situation, and Villese just played it perfectly there. Yeah, very nice display by him. And now we're going to see either Arena or Arabia from Nicov, as these are the 2 home maps by him. Let's see which one he's going for. Is it Arena? Is the game already going on?
No, but I'm predicting Arena.
Okay. You're predicting Arena? Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I'm actually I think it's like 95% gonna be Arena.
95%? Okay.
Yeah.
I say it's Arabia.
Okay.
Okay, I think last time we casted, you were leading 2-1 in terms of predictions, Dave, right?
Yep.
Okay, so I'm seeking to equalize it now.
Yep.
Dave, I will quickly refill my water because I need some water, Give me 1 minute. We're back.
Now, the question that I have to ask, did he mute me on his stream?
No.
Oh, fuck. He's not even gone yet. God damn it. Tristan usually leaves right away. Oh, tragedy. All right, well, hello.
Go ahead. Okay.
Go get your water.
Yeah, why did you talk, man? Okay, we're back.
This is like, when you're having a conversation with people on the phone as you used to do, back before text messaging. I know I'm dating myself.
I know so well.
Fuck's sakes, go get your water.
Yeah, everybody. Yeah, okay. We're back.
And then there was that one person that would like never hang up the phone. Or like,
yeah, that was always me.
Oh, he's actually gone now. Okay. He's actually gone. He's not at his chair. Lol. I was playing the waiting game there. Anyway, there always used to be like the high school girlfriend. You remember that? Or like the middle school girlfriend or boyfriend, depending on the person. You'd never want to hang up the phone. Even though there was only one family phone. You'd like be using your family members like my mom wants to use it now. No, you hang up. Oh. Yeah. Uncle Dave is telling us a story. I know I'm old. I'm hideously old. Oh, there's Jordan right there. Okay. Jordan? Jordan?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, good.
I was hanging up. I was just hanging up, you know.
Okay. Well, it's arena.
Oh God, no.
So
No. 3-1 for you.
Kind of lose again. Yep. And
oh God.
Here we are. Game number 3. We got Nicov against Villese. This is Nikov's home map. He's gone for the Poles, and Villese has gone for the Vietnamese. The Poles are a very good arena civ. I don't think the Vietnamese are their best matchup. So, could be interesting.
It's going to be a very interesting one. I have never seen this matchup on Arena, if I recall properly. I mean, Pole's a great booming civ, right?
Yep.
With the possibility to go for the folwarks, which speed up your food income so drastically. It's just a lovely thing to boom with, right? On the other side, Vietnamese, they are extremely strong, especially against archer civs. Pole's not the typical archer civ, yes. But, you know, with Vietnamese, you never do something wrong, I feel like. They are the typical in-between civilization between the very best civilizations and the worst ones. So, yeah, very solid. They have a lot of things going for them.
Were you around when they were by far the worst civilization?
What happened? I think their economical boost was not there, right? With
yeah, it wasn't there.
Yeah.
And dude, Nicov cannot bring in this boar. Oh my God! And now he's gonna get house. He has to build the house with the boar villager. Oh God! It went back twice, or it didn't even follow.
Oh no, no way! Really? I
absolutely
on
washed.
Arena, I never pay attention to that anymore because like what happens in Dark Age anyway, right? On Arena, it's just more about chilling. You know, I think Dave, upon this, it makes sense to discuss what we had a second ago about the dating stuff.
Okay.
Did you have that experience?
What?
That in the past you were, you know, on the phone with a girl?
That's what I was saying. That it like, especially like high school, like when you were younger.
Okay, so it is, yeah.
It was the like, no, you hang up, no, you hang up kind of thing. You know?
Okay, so it was the same thing over there.
I think it's the same everywhere, bro.
Really?
I don't think it's a cultural thing. I think it's literally anyone with a phone.
Okay.
It's like nowadays it would be texting, right? Like who's gonna send the last text? You know?
Yeah.
And like back in the day, you know, because you're around my advanced age, right?
Yeah.
You would oftentimes use your family members as an excuse if you had like the family phone.
Yeah.
You know, to like, one of them has to use it. But then when cell phones came along, you got screwed. You got screwed hard.
My battery is going off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know these tricks. No, but it's just so lovely, right? Now when you're thinking back in time, it's just so sweet if you go through that phase, right?
Was it? I don't know. My teenage years were a little bit weird. I'm not gonna lie.
Why exactly?
I think everyone's teenage years were a little bit weird, dude. Do you ever remember back to being a teenager and just cringe at all the dumb things that you did?
Non-stop.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, non-stop. Right? It's just like so many things you didn't know back then, but know now, and that would have helped you so much in life. It's just insane.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. There were a couple of things which were fun, for sure. How often did you have that experience, Dave?
Which experience?
To be the last one to
Middle
hang
school girlfriend, every phone call. And then high school first girlfriend, like every other phone call. And then it kind of died off after that because like you get older and like, you know, it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, at one point you're reaching an age where it's just like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, it's like I'm gonna hang up now.
Yeah, no, I will. I'll be the first one, right?
Yeah.
I wonder what happens. When does it happen, right? That switch between I'm going to be the loser if I hang up first to I'm going to be the victor if I'm going to hang up first. I wonder when that switch is coming.
I think it depends on the person, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah,
Is
of
there like a
course,
build
yeah.
for it? Does it have a build order?
Like 20
Like
years
after
at
your
least, and,
15th on gold, then you go and switch to something else, maybe? When it's clear it's not working?
Yeah, maybe it hasn't been figured out yet.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, Dave, we are 10 minutes into the game almost, and we have breached Dark Age already. So that's good. That's good.
This is why I like arena casting. You know, you can just like chat about stuff. You can kind of warm up.
Yeah. For
And Nicov is going for a barracks, so he's not going the market blacksmith approach, and he's on stone right now. And of course, with the poles, that's very, very nice because you get the gold income as well, which is beautiful. That's like such a strong bonus. It's insane.
Yeah, I feel like it's still underused.
Yeah.
There are certain players, like for example Winchester, where I would say they have really already optimized their builds toward poles, right? The way he's using poles is just phenomenal. I remember having practice games against him on King of the Desert, and it felt like he always won with poles. It was just amazing. While, for example, I don't have too much, good plays with poles yet. So there's definitely room for improvement. And yeah, Nicov, he is not going on gold. He is going on stone, and I like the move a lot because he's getting the 50% of the stone income is going to be in addition to that also gold. So yeah, not too bad there.
I feel
But
like
he
it's
has to
so
buy
much.
himself.
Oh, go
Yeah,
ahead. Go ahead.
No,
Yes.
I was just saying he has to buy himself the gold though to go up.
Yeah, because he didn't quite have enough. And there we go. He sells some stone for gold, which he was gathering anyway. So it's giving him gold in more than one way. Yeah, I think like the bonus for it, everyone always thinks about Civ bonuses in relation to like Arabia, right? Because that's the most played map. But it applies so much more in maps like Nomad, Mega Random especially. Having poles is super nice. Because you never know how much gold you're going to get, right? Or, water maps, even. I mean, poles aren't traditionally the best water map Civ, but if you have limited amounts of gold on like Team Islands, getting that extra gold from the stone is really important. And just
Yes.
kind of stranger off meta maps that we see, it seems very, very strong to me.
Yep, for sure. And I feel like also poles is the one civilization which is by far not the most figured out yet, right? There's still a lot of room for improvement, and that's just because this civilization is just working way different compared to the other civilizations. I kind of compare it a bit to Malay with their fast uptime.
I think Malay is still less figured out. Like, honestly, it's been so long, and it feels like they're still so strong. Like, and people, I see builds like when I'm casting players with Malay all the time. I see builds where they just underestimate the time it takes to get up to the next stage, and they're not ready once they get there.
Yeah, for sure. It's just if you do the mistake to go to the next age a bit too early, that would give you a huge weakness because you will not be able to afford anything upon reaching the next stage, right? But okay, anyway, both players are going for the pure arena meta, which means going for light calf and trying to get the relics. But Nicov having a very bad fight here, taking a lot of damage on that scout. And he's going for heavy plow as well, so he will be able to boost his food income really, really fast.
Nicov went for the monastery early, and Villese went for the TC and then the monastery. So Nikov's first monk is going to be a little bit quicker.
Yep.
And he should be able to snag probably 2 relics safely. It's going to be that third one that's going to be the issue. I can't see either player getting 4 here. Unless Nicov
No.
goes like super heavy on light cav, but even then, Villese should be able to snag one, and the light cav is already coming in for Villese.
Yep. Yeah. Nicov, he doesn't really have the gold so far yet, but he's going to go for that now, I suppose, right? Let's see. He doesn't go for that yet, but he doesn't produce any scouts. So yeah, light cav coming in indeed. And yeah, as you said, Monastery is out a bit earlier than Villese, so he will be able to get some relics in before Villese. And Nicov, he's also adding a second TC, so we can expect some booming behind from both players as well.
That's all I got, Jordan.
Yeah, me as well. I was hoping like, okay, Dave, please take over. Please save me right
No, what
now.
do you do? What do you do with Pole's late game against Vietnamese? That's where they struggle, right? Once you get into the late game composition, it seems like they have the advantage early.
Yep.
But
I think what you have to do is you have two options. You go either for for cavalry, or you go for arbalest, right? Both directions could be completely bad, depending if Villese scouts it. But you have to. Oh yeah, Obuch, but Obuch doesn't work at all for against rage units, right? So that's not really gonna be the play. I feel like you have to go for very fast imp, forward castle, trap the Vietnamese player down, and then commit to either cavalry or arbalest.
yeah, it feels like Poles really have to take the initiative here. If you let the Vietnamese sit, you're gonna have a bad time. And both players losing a monk now. We got Spearman on the field for Villese, and that's the big difference right now. But Nicov taking some better engagements early with the light cav. Still, the Spearmen are on the hunt, and Nicov has gotten 2 relics. Villese has gotten 1 relic, is gonna grab the second one with the Spearman there. And it's all about that third one, I think, on the left-hand side. As we see Nicov now switching over to that side to go grab that again.
Yeah. It feels like both of them guarantee will have 2 relics for sure. And now the question is what the transition is going to be like and who's going to be able to get the 3rd relic. But Dave, it looks like it should be Villese, right? Because he's just having it much closer to his base there. And in the meanwhile, look at that. Nicov still hasn't added 3rd TC. Oh no, never mind. He has added a 3rd TC. So he is going for a big boom behind that as well.
And he's sending more to stone. Now, that's not likely for the gold income. Probably thinking about a castle relatively early. Do you go for that 4th TC first, or do you go for the castle? If you're going to make it forward, you probably go for the castle first.
Yeah, you have to. Like, I would be very surprised if Nicov decides to add even a 4th TC here, right? And Villese getting the light cav. He lost the monk, but he got the conversion on the light cav.
He's gonna get both the relics. Yeah,
he has both of them now, and that gives him a nice advantage as well in terms of the relic department.
He didn't even get heavy plow. I'm surprised. Obviously, Nicov has it for the Poles to get the full advantage, but it's cheaper for Villese, so it's interesting to me that he's adding so many farms now without actually getting that. He's got 30 farms without heavy plow.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Especially the only thing he has to invest into that is food, right? And it feels like he has a good amount of food now with the 30 farms. So it's definitely something he wants to get as soon as possible. But yeah, like, I wonder, Dave, what is Nikov's long-term game plan here? He has a good amount of villagers, yes, a bit of head in that department, yes, but 4 TC against 3 TC, and it doesn't look like... Okay, he's going for university now. So I feel like he is going to go for Imperial Age very soon, and then he needs to make something happen here.
Villese banking up quite a bit of gold, though, and he's got 31 on farms. Like, that's 32 farms, 30 more farms coming down for Villese. So at any point, he can kind of just stall out villagers. He's got 8 villagers queued. As long as he has the castle age buildings, he can probably click up pretty soon. He's going for a castle.
Yep.
He's banking up the stone right now. So Nicov making no moves to come forward yet. should probably put his castle at home, and then Villese puts his castle at home. And I think this is kind of playing into Villese's hands a little bit.
100%. I'm just wondering, like, what is his game plan from Nicov? Nicov has clicked up, so he will be going up now. But yeah, now what's his follow-up plan? That's the main question.
Villese needs the second building, and then just unqueue some villagers, and you can go up to the next stage.
Yeah, yeah.
He's waiting for the castle, though. This might be a trap for Villese. I think you should make the second building now. Okay, he's making the siege workshop. All right.
Yep.
You don't want to wait for that castle to click up to the next stage.
Yep. I'm wondering. He is adding archer range, Dave. Archer range for Nicov. Okay. And he is sending a lot of villagers forward now. So he already has Loom as well in the queue. So he wants to make something happen here. And indeed, he needs to make something happen.
What do you do against Imskirm Helb from Vietnamese? If you're Poles.
You have to go for Onagers, but Onagers are going to die against BBC. It's just like everything the Poles can do is going to be counted by...
How did the Obuk do well against that? But then you can just add in some archers of your own.
Yep.
And Imskirm, I think, actually probably don't do that terribly against Obuk.
What is the damage output? 8, right? Or 9?
It's 4 plus
it should be 9.
4? 5 plus 4?
Oh, 8. It's 8. Okay.
It's kind of a nut. It's like a nutty unit, dude. It's kind of crazy, honestly. And if you get it with if you're like Aztecs with their skirm bonus, it can be kind of nuts. Like
yeah. It's strong. It's strong. I love the move from Villese. He's building a outpost in the front. He wants to get the confirmation what his opponent is going for. But Nicov doesn't really allow him to do that. And Nicov is going for skirms now. This does not feel like a good move, Dave. Like, we were just talking about it. Vietnamese just go for Imperial skirms and they're good. Right? Conscription coming in, gold shaft mining. Maybe a combination out of Obuch and skirms could be a play for Nicov, but then again, nothing I have in my mind right now where Vietnamese could struggle against Poles.
Now Nikov's looping around the right side. What's he looking? Oh, he's just looking for the light cap. Please don't tell me he loses a monk here. Oh my god, no, no, tragedy.
Both. Yeah, that was a very valuable scout, I would say. And you know what surprises me? That Villese was not that slower, or not that much slower to Imperial Age than his opponent, right? I thought it was going to be way slower there. So nicely done by him. And he's going for Retin Archers here. And Retin Archers are just such a very strong, very powerful unit here.
Okay, how well do Obuk do against this? Not well at all. Even I wonder what their pierce armor is on the elite version, though.
It should be 2+4.
Because they've got 2 base on the non-elite.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the base is on the elite version.
I guess it's still 2, right?
6 max? So
yeah, I think it's 6
still be
max.
2. Okay.
Yeah, no. Because I have in mind that they don't have or they're not the strongest against range units. Right? Okay. 111 villages against 110, so very equal, or almost identical. But Nicov doesn't have willpower handcard yet, and I suppose Villese is going to go for bombard cannons, and with the bombard cannons and red archers, I just see Nicov struggling a lot against that. Nicov doesn't have any armor. No, never mind. He has armor. Yeah, he's fine. But it's not like it's not like the red archers are trading bad against the skirms.
No.
Totally fine. And
especially once you get like elite and all the upgrades, they're gonna be super sick. And we see elite upgrade coming in there. 7+4 attack for these bad boys. 8 range on them and 8 pierce armor. Skirms do
Exactly.
bonus damage, but it's going to be really, really tough to kill that ball of rat nurtures.
When they are rat archers, like elite, they are going to have 10 pierce armor, which is just like crazy, right? They're kind of like Huskals, so to say.
I question. I want to see something from Nicov that makes me not question what he's doing and what he's done all game. Because he's falling back with skirmishers now. He's got bombard cannons of his own. The rat archers and the bombard cannons from Villese are just destroying his army currently, and he's trying to go for a panic castle here. The bodies of his skirmishers, the skirmishers are buying him time, but is it enough time to get this up? And what does he do once it is up?
I love that way of thinking you had during the things you said just right now. What happens if the castle is going to go up anyway?
I still have questions, and now he's teching into the cavalry armor. So he's got what, one stable right now?
Yep.
One stable.
Yep.
He's gonna build stables maybe over on the right side and try and expand. But look at the line of castles from Villese. He's like, okay, that's fine. I think my composition beats your composition. I'm gonna play it safe with my castles, not pressure you, take control of the resources, and slowly build up my army.
Yeah. And
look at that rat archer over on the right side. Oh, that's so good from Villese.
Yep. It feels like he is, in the driver's seat in this game. And, I understand it. Like, Nicov, he has a very hard time to fight against Vietnamese in Imperial Age. And I feel like he needed to go for a different approach. With post, there's a lot of things you can do there. Especially with, like, 1 TC plays. Yeah, that would have been better, I guess, than just going into a straight Imperial Age fight against Vietnamese here.
And I love how Villese is just getting all the text just in case. He can build up rat archers. He's teching into Halb now. He's not even adding any Halb. He's just teching into it because he knows the cavalry switch might be coming. Hasn't even seen any stables. And he's getting siege engineers as well. Nicov spending all his stone to repair that castle. And the rat archers sitting under the castle, getting targeted by the skirmishers casually, tanking all that damage and wiping up all the skirms from Nicov.
Yeah. This is just, I would say, a point of no return, right? And Nicov has 28 villagers repaired that castle, and everything is going to go idle now. And indeed, Villese is able to win game number 3. It was the home map of Nicov, but he was falling short, and Villese is sitting on a 2-1 lead right now, and will have the match point for the last or the 4th game.
Yep. To the guy in chat that told me that Poles absolutely destroy Vietnamese. Well,
you were wrong.
Congratulations.
I guess he will say no. Villese just has shown that he's the stronger player.
Yeah. Oh, 93 kills for Villese and 39 deaths. I like it. It's very satisfying.
Whoa.
Yeah, look at that.
Just the moment when you see that.
3993.
It's just like, it's just, this is so seldom, right? That things like that happen.
Mm-hmm. Well, if only it was 9669, and then we would.
Okay, so you're that kind of person who's jumping on the 69.
Bro, I'm a streamer, all right? This is what we do. Welcome to the club.
I haven't started with that yet.
Oh,
maybe one day I will. I'm too innocent. I'm way too innocent. I don't even know what 69 means.
Yep.
Yep. Oh, that answer just showed me like, Jordan, you're full of shit. Don't even freaking try that. Don't even start that.
So what map does Nicov has Arabia left, I believe?
Yeah, Nicov has Arabia left. So that's the map for game number 4.
Mm-hmm.
And in case Nicov wins game 4, we will then see game 5, which is going to be Shoots. And Shoots is like Acclivity, but instead of having hills on the edges and in the middle, you have valleys.
So you have shoots on the outside then.
I have no freaking idea what shoots it.
A shoot is like a it's not a canal, but it's like a area between two other like an open tunnel kind of. You know?
Yeah, okay, exactly. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're going down a bit from
Down
the
a chute,
normal...
yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Good. See, I'm learning with you, Dave.
Shoot is also what you say at Bible camp when you stub your toe. Oh, shoot. Because you get in trouble if you say shit.
Yeah, okay, but obviously have different meaning.
Yes.
But would you write it the same way?
No.
No. How would you write shoot? Like
shoot
the
as in like
shoot.
My toe, SHOOT, and then shoot as in like an open tunnel is CHUTE.
Okay. But you pronounce it the same way, right?
Yes.
So, okay, Dave. What are the civs we have remaining here? Let me quickly check on that. Because I don't know.
We've got Lithuanians,
Sicilians?
Tatars, Britons for Nicov. We have Sicilians, Spanish, Berbers, and I would say it's likely to be
Sicilians.
Yeah, I guess because you probably want to say Berbers for shoots, right?
I would say so. That you have Berbers for shoots, and for Nicov, he's going for Tatars most likely on shoots.
Britons
and
probably.
Britons. He used Britons, Lithuanians. Yeah, Britons. I think Britons against the Sicilians right now. I would say. Let's see who's right on that one. I'm wondering that they have not started yet.
Nope.
I'm wondering maybe they're taking a little break here, but they are apparently in the game already. Okay.
So are you gonna try out the new patch for Age 4?
No.
You see all the changes for it, dude?
No. Have you?
Yeah, it was so many.
Like, what would you say are the main changes?
Dude, there's so many. I can't even. Like, there's going to be a ranked, and then all the civs basically got, like, a bunch of stuff changed from them. And, like, Siege gets built slower now. It's just balance changes, basically.
Yeah. Have they added any new civilizations? Or is it remaining with the 8? Okay, so it's the remaining 8 there. So that means, Dave, you're going to try it for sure, right?
Well, I'm probably won't. I don't think I'll play it on like keyboard and mouse, but controller player on there is really fun because it's like easier. I think it's way easier. So it's like, you know, less intensive. Like the start, you can just kind of send 2 to gold and send a bunch to food, and it's really simple
somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then with AoE 2, you have to like wall up, get the boars, push the deer, explore, you know, all that other bullshit.
No chance. No chance.
Yeah.
I hope one day I will watch how you are really using the controller to play. Maybe one day we'll make that happen, because for me it's just I don't understand that. Like, how are you navigating through everything? Like, how are you able to command a villager to take a boar? It's like stuff which is very... I don't understand it, Dave. I don't.
Because you're not a gamer, my friend. You're like a wannabe gamer.
I would crush your ass on my Mario Kart, 100%.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Which platform though?
That's not the question.
Well, they're different games.
Yeah, but
you're gonna say on every single Mario Kart you're gonna crush me?
GameCube easy.
I didn't play the GameCube version. I didn't play the Wii version either. I'm an N64 guy.
An N64 I would kick you easy.
All right. Okay. Well, as long as we don't play on Super Nintendo, because that's what Nilly.
No. Yeah, I played with Nilly once, and I just didn't like it. I didn't like it, like, seriously. The way the graphics looked like was just insane.
The one night when he was all depressed about N4C numbers, right? I came out to the couch, and like everyone had gone, and I usually just hang out with Nilly and Overlay guys. We're into the next game here, but he's sitting there trying to beat his PB on Mario Kart Super Nintendo. It was. I was like, man, this is the saddest thing I've ever seen in my life. He laughed really hard at that actually, so it was kind of like,
yeah. Oh, yeah. Maybe it was his way of dealing with things, right?
yeah. He also
But
kicked my ass
interesting.
at like a fighting game on it too. Like he's played it way too often, dude. Way too often.
So you would say Nil is definitely the real gamer here.
Yeah, 100%.
Not,
Oh
not
yeah,
like, not like me.
dude. Nilly encapsulates gaming more than either of us for sure. 100%.
Would you say he would beat you in a controller play of Age of Empires 2?
No.
Right?
No.
Yeah.
No, I think
think
Nilly
you're
doesn't
the
have.
best there.
I think Nilly doesn't have what it takes to be a controller player. You have to ignore efficiency completely.
Yeah, okay. Nil is not that type of guy.
Yeah.
But I would say in general, if I don't want to go into stereotypes right now, but in general, if you're born in Germany and you're raised German, then it feels like you are having more of a efficiency tick. Right? Like,
Oh, is that a
the
German stereotype? Really?
The train is 1 minute late. Frick.
Is that?
Stuff
I've
like
never heard that before. Is that a German stereotype?
You're joking, right?
Joking about what?
Like Germans are always said to be super efficient and blah. Well,
Really?
at least they're trying to.
Ah. I always thought of them as like more carefree kind of, humor loving nation.
Not Germans.
Oh. Okay. All right, we're into the game. Game 4, Joe.
Yeah, let's go.
Tatars and Sicilians. Interesting. You went for Tatars here, so you thought he was going to save that for the last map.
Yeah, I guess it's going to be Brits then, huh? That also makes sense. Huh, Dave, I would suggest you go for the introduction again. You do it better than me, so, I want the quality there.
All right, so we have Nicov versus Villese. Game number 4 here. It's on Arabia. Nikov's gone for the Tatars. And look at this Arabia generation. Hills everywhere, which is going to help him. And Villese has gone for the Sicilians, which we saw were so devastating in King of the Desert. And you get to a point with Sicilians where it just feels like there's nothing you could do against them if they manage to tech up. It's just whether they manage to get there. That's the question.
Exactly. And the Sicilians, for me personally, is one of the civs which I absolutely love because they have so many great things to them, which make them so strong, right? But certain civilizations can really exploit the way Sicilians work. And usually the best way to approach the game against Sicilians is you don't ever want to go for trash units. You always want to have the combination out of gold units, right? Ideally, you have knights and crossbows. That's something Sicilians really struggle against.
Yep. Because you're not doing any bonus damage there. Just
Exactly.
doing standard damage.
Yep.
All right, so Villese saw the barracks. He didn't see the militia coming up, but if the barracks is up this early, you better believe that there's militia there, and he's not tracking them across. So he's probably just going to start thinking about little walls around his woodlines and whatever, and Nicov can't find him?
Oh, he's going the wrong direction.
Nicov!
And he scouted the stone? Okay, now he knows.
Yeah.
Well, does
It's not the worst thing in the world.
Yeah.
This is a little bit off. But still, it's going to delay him getting to the woodline. Maybe Villese at this point starts asking questions like, wait, where is the drush? I saw the barracks. I saw the woodline, and that makes him even more confident to come out here to this woodline because he didn't see anything, and Nikov's going to deny that, but still, Villese will save all this stuff. He has a woodline at the back.
Exactly. He will save it all, and he was just going to quick wall everything, right? And he will be completely fine here. There's nothing Nicov can do right now, and Nicov going for big walls here in the south side of his base, but he's also going for loom, so I would imagine that his fuel age time is not going to be too much delayed there, and the scout just being super annoying, right? And if Villese is not able to get these walls up, then Nicov can do some damage here, and it looks like he's going to be able to do that.
It's tough because it's on a hill, but he should be able to get it up. Oh, Nicov, perfect timing on the scout. Well played by him, and the militia are in, attacking the villager down the hill.
Yeah. Oh, but great reaction by Villese. Great stuff. And he's able to fight so well with his villagers.
He's going to lose one for sure, though. He might even lose
Yep.
a second one here. He's going to lose the second one, I think.
No. No, he's not.
Yep.
He's not paying attention.
Go!
It's downhill.
Run!
It's downhill.
Run, militiaman!
Oh,
Oh, the block!
nice.
Sick.
Nice. Crazy. Really well done by Villese here, salvaging the situation. But I would say, Dave, that was better for Nicov because
yeah.
he was able to get so much value from those militia. And he was even able to get one villager kill, which is just lovely.
Yep.
Right?
A lot of people think, like, especially people that are newer to the Drush build order, that you need to kill a villager to make sure it's valuable.
Yep.
But killing a villager is just a perk. That's actually kind of rare in terms of a Drush. It's less than 50% of the time. And he made him idle, his economy.
Yep.
He held him at home at the beginning, canceled that second lumber camp, and killed a villager. So very successful Drush there.
Exactly. I mean, in general, if you're getting even villager kills, that's even much more than you're asking for anyway, right? Because on a high level, you usually never see someone losing villagers to a Drush, except it's coming completely out of
The blue.
as a surprise, out of the blue. Thank you. Which was not really the case, so I was surprised that Villese lost a villager there, but I guess Nicov has utilized his scout very nicely to prevent that.
The hills were also kind of weird on the wood line for the quick walls and stuff. Is a little bit tricky for Villese to make that quick wall happen. Viper would have done it, but
Yeah, but most likely the only one who would be able to do it was the Viper. But okay, both players are going for archers right now. We have one villager lead for Nicov here, and yeah, I mean, archer-wise, Villese has the slight advantage here, but Tatar's archers, you know, they're fine. They will always be able, on those kind of maps, have high ground, and yeah, once reaching Castle Age, that's going to be very dangerous because they get the thumb ring for free.
Nikov's got a good little base set up here too. He's got that wood in the back that can't be ranged, and he's got the gold that can't be ranged too. So the question for me is just, can he set up his farm safely? Answer is yes. Does he have wood safe for a long time? Answer is yes. And I think Nicov is going to play this pretty defensively, just sitting on top of this hill and getting his nice little Tatar hill damage on there. And he can continue to take the berries too. So this is looking quite nice for him.
Yeah, but this engagement could in theory be good for Villese. Like, he's able to trade with one archer, so one archer going down for both sides here, and he's also getting some extra. No, he's not going to get extra damage. And for me personally, one of the most important things I always look at when someone is utilizing Sicilians.
Oh, look at that gate!
Yeah, nice move by Nicov. Look at that. But what is he doing? Okay, now the scout is dead. That one is biting the dust. Villese has gone for horse color already, Dave, and that means his farms are going to have 350 food, if I'm not mistaken.
25.
325. Okay.
Yeah.
You know stuff, Dave.
No,
you know
I
stuff.
clicked the farm, bro. You know stuff. He knows how to read. What a nerd.
This guy, that's exactly why I'm co-casting with him. Oh, lovely stuff. I was like, man, how does he know those kind of small details? He must be the best controller player
No,
ever.
dude, I'm terrible at that kind of stuff. Like, if you ask me how
me
much
as
a
well.
unit costs, like, I don't even. Unless it's one of the major ones, I don't know. I don't know.
How much does a knight cost?
50 food, 75 gold, I think.
Oh god, 60 food, Dave.
Oh, well, fuck it.
Let's try it.
I just
Let's
know
try it.
if the game makes the,
Yeah, I understand.
has the icon once I click build it.
Yeah.
Like I said,
last question.
I don't know.
How does a champion cost? How much?
Before or after supplies? Not that it makes a difference because I don't fucking know.
Then let's go for after. No, just kidding. Before.
Dude, honestly, is it like 60 food, 20?
Is that the final answer you're going to submit?
I don't know, dude. Like I said, I don't know a cost of any units. I've been playing the game for so long. If I have
Okay.
enough, I'll click it
Okay.
and I'll make it.
What is the villager cost?
Oh, 50 food. Go fuck yourself.
Yes, you got it. Oh. Well,
The
I just
thing
proven
is, like,
you wrong.
yeah, the thing is, like, I've never ever looked at a precise build order. I've just always like winged it. I know the general beginning. It's just always wing it. So
Yeah, I always wing as well.
I don't know costs. But anyway, this is playing out exactly like we thought it would. Nicov is just playing very defensively. He has snuck archers away, though. He's done the classic delete the wall and sneak archers away, and he's going to show up at Vilese's base, but Villese will have double archer range to defend, and Villese has gone for the gigantic walls.
Dave, in my opinion, there's a huge misplay by Nicov. Do you know what it is?
Huge misplay by Nicov. No horse collar. Typical Nicov play. Nope.
No, it has to do something with his archers he snuck out.
Should he wait until he has crossbow and then engage? Like what do you
just imagine Vilese's position. He leaves this position and then comes back, and instead of a wall, there's a house which is unfinished.
Oh, yeah. But I thought about that, but I wasn't sure if that house had been built as a panic measure once Villese killed the wall.
You're not focused, man. You're not focused.
I know, I'm not. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that was the misplay, right? In that situation, you built the wall again, so no one knows what happened.
I feel like I was getting
okay,
quizzed there, like I was in school or something. Find the difference in this picture. Like, I don't know. If Nicov leaves his base at 19 minutes and Villese leaves his base at 18:48 and they're going at 0.75 speed, where will they meet up? It's like I don't know. I'm confused.
When is Nicov able to catch up again?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, so you're having those kind of questions asked in school as well?
Of course, dude, and it's a meme here too.
It's not a German thing. Okay,
yeah, and it's a meme here
thing.
too. Yeah. Like, when will this ever be useful? You know?
Yeah, like get the shit out of here, seriously.
Yeah.
Okay, we have an engagement Tatar on the hill, never good, and also they have Thumb Ring now, right?
Yep.
But it feels like Villese has the army size, right?
No, but Nikov's just focusing the archers. He's ignoring the skirms for now.
Yeah.
And he's still got he's got the archers at the back. He waited till crossbow Jordan. Oh baby. Please just sneak up on that wood line. Get right beside, snuggle right up to that house.
Yep.
I zoomed in too much, but yeah. He's snuggling.
He's snuggling. He's trying to snuggle, right? But the snuggling is only
it's more like a
giving him
cuddling
one
at the
villager.
moment. Yeah.
Man. Like they're being very aggressive with their shots here.
Yeah.
But it feels like Nicov definitely has a huge advantage here. He has 5 villagers more, okay. He doesn't have wheelbarrow, but overall, 2 villager lead, roughly, I would say, is definitely healthy.
Elite skirm now, though, for Villese. So Nicov is on, and +2 armor. So Nicov can only make these crossbows for so long, and a lot of those crossbows are weak, too. He needs to be very careful.
Yes.
He's still micring against this, but this is Elite skirm with +2 now. Like, this is very dangerous.
Yes. I don't like that Villese is staying so long in the lower ground. Doesn't make any sense. And the north side is going to be cleaned up by Villese now again. The good thing is for Nicov, he forced Villese to move the wood line, right? Which means he had a downtime in the wood income. But in general, I feel like, Nicov should be having the better position. And now he's doing a great move. He's also going for a siege workshop himself.
All of Nikov's farms are about to expire, too.
Nice. That's always the best feeling you can have for I love that sound. That sounded exactly like a farm expiring, Dave.
Oh, that's what I was going for, so I'm happy. Man, I remember playing Age of Kings, and then the Conqueror's expansion came out, and I was so happy that villagers would automatically or you could queue up farm. Right? You could queue up farms for them to reseed it. Now, obviously, this is before auto farm, but you could queue it up because I hated that sound. Absolutely hated it.
Yeah. I definitely can relate to that one. In the middle, you queued up 40 farms, if I'm not mistaken, right? Something like that. Okay, so we have Villese here in the middle, having the better position as the hill is very huge. But both players having a mangonel right now, and Nicov usually is very good in those kind of situations. He also took a very good shot, or made a good shot, Vilese's Mangonel at 15 HP. And he has to be very cautious because if that Mangonel is dying, which is his,
that didn't even
he's
have a
going to lose
frame
it.
where it stopped, dude. It was just moving
Yeah.
in one direction, shooting, and then moving in the other direction. That was sick.
Yeah. Very nicely done by Nicov, and now he's able to reclaim the position in the middle. And you know, if you're against Tatars, that's usually not a good thing if they have such a good hill there. Yeah.
I
But
also
don't
think, you
Yeah,
want to
go
keep
ahead.
control of the middle of the map too, because at any point, Sicilians can come forward and drop a free castle on your ass, basically. Like, you're not stopping it. It's so quick, and if they get there, it could be big problems for you. So you want to definitely control this middle area and that hill in the center, if you can.
For sure. This is, you know, these moments are always super tense because once you have mangonels included, there is always such a huge potential of things falling apart in a second, right? So all of things, these things can happen. Villese in the meanwhile, he has 3 TCs already, so it seems like a great boom. And he has Heavy Plow, and he has Bosa. While Nicov on the other side, he only has the wood upgrades. But Dave, surprise, surprise, no farming economy upgrades so far.
Well, you would never know looking at his farm eco right now. Looks pretty legit and organized to me.
Oh, God, 7 on food right now.
I don't
and
think
he's
he read
about
the manual. I guess he has some sheep. I guess he has some sheep in the town centers when he makes them, right? So that's some food eco. Ooh, he's trying to micro against the Mangonel here. Good micro from Nicov. Splits away from 2 shots. Takes down the
Amazing.
Mangonel, and he still has his alive too.
Yeah, amazing micro by Nicov. Really well done. And yeah, there's still 1 Mangonel remaining here for Villese, but yeah, he should be fine, right? Let's see. Nicov is doing a great job, Mike.
Dude, Villese is like reading the splits too. He had enough of it the first time, and he read where Nicov was going to split twice. The first time he got him, the second time it was a little bit too early.
Yeah. It's crazy. You can definitely tell that Nicov is training a lot with the AM guys, because the way he was microing right now, that was definitely a typical AM standard, I would say.
Well, I think like
Now
he's always been super quick. It's just trying to get him to be less frantic. If you know what that means. Like just less panicked in his movements, right?
Okay. That's what frantic means, I suppose.
Yeah.
Okay. Then we have 2 Mangonels coming forward for Nicov, and they are assaulting right now the siege workshop. So Villese, you know, he in general doesn't have the worst situation, but it can be very bad very, very soon. So let's see how he's able to defend here. On the north side, he's taking a great fight.
And in the south too, in the middle. Everything's dying for Nicov. What? He got a little bit too overconfident.
Wow. Yeah. Like, look at the army numbers now, Dave. He has only 10 versus the 14.
And Valesa's on stone. And remember what I said about controlling the middle of the map.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, the Mangonel is going to be killed. No, never mind. It's fine. 2 versus 2. And I still think that Villese has the better position here. Just due to the fact that the skirms are just so much more tanky against the crossbows than the crossbows are against the skirms, right?
Nicov has to be super frustrated with that shot. It was right in between both Mangonels. Didn't get either of them. He's trying not to lose his Mangonels. The micro here is insane, and Villese is losing skirms because of it. That was a good attack round there. He loses a villager, loses another Mangonel. Another Mangonel goes down. What a ridiculous series of events there.
Yeah, for sure. And look at that, Dave. Nicov is now trying to get the middle position with a castle.
If he loses the Mangonel, he has to cancel it.
Yeah, he has to. Yeah. I wonder if he still wants to commit there. I mean, he knows that he's down in the Mangonel department.
Oh, Valesa's coming too. Uh-oh, and he's Sicilians. Uh-oh, Nicov. Danger.
Abort. Oh no, the Mangonel survives. Oh, that is so huge. Oh god, that is so huge, Dave.
And down the hill too. Down the hill in the Sicilian castle. This is the first time I've ever said this, but is denied in the middle of the map.
Oh god. Oh god, but still, Dave, he has so much more resources, and he's going up to Imperial Age right now. And you know what, Nicov, he is not going to up into Imperial Age very soon so far.
Yeah, I mean, well, a big part of that is because his farm eco was added so late, right? And he still has no
Yeah.
horse collar. Nikov's is back.
Yes.
He was looking different. The imposter is gone. The real Nicov has returned. Still no horse collar. Does have wheelbarrow though, and now he's seeding tons of farms.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Like Nicov, in theory, he should have a very good position right now, especially after what happened in the middle. But it feels like due to him adding the farms a bit too late, it could be his, how would you say, his factor of losing, something like that.
His mistake. I don't know.
Yeah, whatever.
Big mistake. And it will Villese save the Mangonel? He does not. No. Keshix will die though to the TC, and the skirms are working on the crossbows. I guess my question is, sure, Villese is going to be up to Imp, but how long is it going to take him to transition? And he goes for the stable now. This is his very first stable. He still has the foundation in the middle that he probably needs to cancel and get another castle up. He can't go into sergeants, really.
Yeah, I'm surprised, Dave, that he is not doing that yet, or has not done that yet, because
700
usually
HP.
It's like the best thing he can do is delete the siege workshop, place the castle there, and then get the chap out to kill the castle from Nicov, right? But the way it is shaping out right now, the game, it feels like Nicov is in a great position, killing. Wow,
those villagers almost died, dude. And the army's
close.
there. Oh my god.
Completely annihilated here. Oh, yeah, this is very bad. And now Villese is going for a very panic castle.
That castle's going up though.
Yeah, it's Sicilians. Yeah, but still, he's losing a few villages in the process as well. And Nicov, he doesn't have any village on gold right now.
No, he does not. He's trying to use the market. He's trying to get gold that way, and he does have enough gold. He's gonna click up, but now the question is, what does Nicov make? Because he's got one crossbow left over, and it's gonna be Sicilian Cavalier, likely. Yep, with Halberg, if Villese can afford Halberg.
Yep. I don't think he can, right? It doesn't look like that. And you know, Kashix, in theory, they should not be too bad against those.
But he only has one castle for Nicov. And he's got
only one castle.
9 on stone, and he's got 82. Okay, 16 on stone. So Keshix are probably what he wants to do.
Yep. He definitely wants to go for Kashix here, but it could be, due to all the action which happened throughout the last minutes, that he just completely forgot about that, right?
57 farms with no horse collar.
This is sometimes so hurting. This is sometimes so hurting.
It pains me.
Yeah, but that's something we're kind of used to from Nicov most of the time, right?
Yeah.
Not to take it as a negative thing, but that's kind of his stereotype, right? That he tends to forget those kind of economical upgrades.
I think it's like a credit to him, the fact that he's so well known for it. We see it so often, and he's still so good.
Yes.
Is a credit to everything that he can do as a player.
Yep. The capabilities
there it
he
is.
has, right?
There it is. It's coming in.
Color.
And handcart too.
Nice. So he took the moment to, get those crucial upgrades here. And that's definitely important. Second castle coming in for Nicov now on the hill, while losing all the mangonels here in the process. And it looks like overall there is a 10 villager discrepancy. Yes, he has handcart, so that's a huge boost to his economy. Villese doesn't have that in return.
Uh-oh, Nicov needs to wall this off before the Cavalier get to that other castle.
Yeah.
Converted one of them, and the Cavalier are making their way over, but Keshix are here. He should be fine.
Yeah, and he doesn't also see that the castle is going to go up now, but obviously that's too late.
Nicov has enough for another castle too.
Yeah. So he will be able to produce a healthy amount of Kashix here, and I think in general Kashix should beat those cavalry in 1v1, no?
Mm-hmm.
I guess so. On the north side, both have some outposts there as well. I feel like Nicov has control of the game. He has 125 villagers against 113, 12 military against 15, and a bit more population than his counterpart as well.
Yeah, I think Nicov has kept himself in a good position here. I mean, you said it at the beginning, making units against Sicilians, you want to go for gold units. Keshiks are the gold units, and they actually generate a little bit of gold as well for you as they're attacking, so it can provide you with a few more Keshiks along the way. And Nicov is actually banking up a ton of res. I think he's looking for elite Keshik now.
Yep. He will go for that now. Yep, he has that. And I suppose that this is kind of the moment for Villese to make something happen. Otherwise, I feel like Nicov is just going to overwhelm him completely in Dave.
Yeah. I don't know what you do here as Villese against Keshik. Elite Keshik.
I mean, you could go in theory into halberdiers, but that's not really something Sicilians want to go for, right? I guess he just wants to play the cavalry himself, but it always feels like Nicov is going to have the better end of his.
160 HP, 11 base attack versus 140 HP, 12 base attack. But the Keshiks... well, it's interesting. I don't know who wins this matchup head to head, because the Cavalier do have more armor as well.
Yeah. It should be very equal there. However, Villese is going to transition into halberdiers, Dave, and I don't think he will have the time for that. How is there a hole? Oh, there is a hole. Hallelujah. Wow. Nicov doesn't have chain boarding armor. Yeah, not ideal.
That's a lot of Keshiks, though. That's 29 Keshiks, only 21 Cavalier, and Villese now struggling for gold. It's his turn as he takes in the Halberdier, and he has no Cavalier in the production. So he's going to try and stay on top of this hill and take a good engagement against Nicov. Nicov probably wants that hill as well, and Nicov is clearing up villagers behind this. This feels like it might be one of the last fights here for Villese if he loses all his Cavalier, because he doesn't even have the wood and food to really continue spamming Halberdier.
Yeah, doesn't look good for Villese at all. Down to 144 population, and he does not have anything going for him right now in the game. And Nicov is just completely all over the place, right? Raiding on the main base, and then also winning the fights here in the front and also on the north side. He just feels like having all the map.
Keshik's still in the back, harassing the farmers. Blast Furnace now coming in for Nicov. Villese has had that for a while, but Nikov's economy behind this too. Maybe even like delete villager territory soon. He's still at 174, so he's fine, but 144 villagers for him.
I'm surprised that he's not adding any villagers. You know, in the previous sets, we've always had the position where he had 140 villagers and he still kept adding.
Yeah.
And at one point he was like at 150 and then realizing, okay, I have too much here right now. But wow, I'm just amazed how great the sets have been so far in this tournament. Like every game I've been casting has always gone to the decider, so giving us a lot of content here, and having the final going to the game 5 is always a pleasure to have.
A really even play between them. There was like one moment there where the castles were going up, and it feels like if Nicov lost that Mangonel, he loses the game. For sure. And he kept it alive. I think he killed 2 Mangonels from Villese defending there.
Yeah. I 100% agree, right? If that one Mangonel was down to 2 HP against 2 Mangonels and he somehow managed to win.
Yeah.
And like just this bare moment had such a huge impact on the game, right? And I also felt like that was the moment where Villese a little bit tilted, I felt like. Because after that, his play was not as smooth as we usually know it from him.
Give me a second here, Jordan. I got a $125 donation during that game, and my alerts are off. I feel ashamed.
Wow. Yeah, I would be as well. Like, what the hell?
In memory of Magyar Kyle. Thank you. In memory of your donation. Thank you so much.
When was that? Like 40 minutes ago?
8 minutes ago. Yeah, I feel terrible, dude.
That's still okay. That's still okay, I would say.
I feel terrible. I'm all right. Well, I'm gonna mute myself for a second here. All right.
Yeah, all good, all good.
Thank you so much, dude.
I
Thank you
wonder if he can
so
still
much.
hear me or if
Shut
he has
the
muted me on his
Shut
stream.
up. Not you, in memory of Magyar Kyle. Not you, Jordan.
I
We
guess
want
he
him
has
to.
muted me, guys. So I can just talk here without muting myself. Because he's not gonna hear me anyway, right? So I cannot not annoy him.
He is just the worst because he
Now I'm
knows
muted.
exactly what's going on. There we go. There we go. In memory of Magyar Kyle, thank you so much, dude. Thank you so much. Wow. It's kind of crazy. You did say you were going to mute yourself. I did mute myself. Wow. And he's subscribed too. Thank you for the sub, dude. Holy shit. Comrade Tarkovsky, thank you for the prime. Go for Dan, thank you for the 12 months. Major Appliance, Gromp, Akriza, thank you. Jouds, everyone, thank you so much. And dude, that is incredibly generous. How are you, Dave? I'm doing well, dude. I'm doing well. That's crazy. I think that's like the biggest donation I think I've ever gotten. Maybe change it back, give me a bigger one. Can't remember. That's nuts. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I ate a whole jar of nacho cheese. Send help. Okay. Farion, I think you're too old to be doing that. Jordan, I'm back. We're into the game.
Finally, man. Finally. I've been waiting, Dave. Are you in the game already?
Yeah, I'm loading in. I switched my scene far too early, so now I'm on the capture age thing. Everyone can see it. Okay, there we go.
Okay.
We're good.
So, Dave, I'm just curious. Because I've shown this map a couple of times already on my stream, but I just want to have your input on how that map makes you feel like. Because I have a very specific map in my mind, which is similar to.
I'm thinking of one. I don't know the name of it, but there's one that has like the little golds on the outside that I can't remember the name of. I'm terrible with map names, dude. Because I only ever cast them. I never have to load them up in the game room, so I don't know what they're called.
Yeah. Is it a map where you're thinking of Empire Wars?
Yes.
Acclivity.
Is it Acclivity? I thought
Acclivity
was the... Oh, Acclivity is the one with the thing down the center, right? And then you have your little hills and stuff that you're on. But I didn't remember there being the golds along the outside edge of that.
Huh?
Were there golds on the outside edge?
Huh? I'm surprised. Like, Acclivity is exactly the reverse of this map, right? Where you have in between, you have a hill instead of a chute.
Yeah.
And on the sides, you also have like hills or the higher plateau instead of chutes as well.
Okay, well, I completely misremembered it, so...
Yeah.
That's
I think
fine.
the map you were thinking about is, how's it called? Meadow? I think Meadow.
No.
Okay. Lowlands?
Maybe, I don't know, dude.
Anyway,
It's in my brain for about a week when I'm casting the tournament, and then I just dispose of it. I don't know.
Lovely stuff. Okay, Dave. Last map. One civilization we got right, which was Berbers for Villese. He's playing here in the north side of the map as Berbers in the red trunks, and Nicov on the other side. Here in the south side, playing in the blue trunks as Lithuanians. So Lithuanians, interesting choice here. Yeah, go ahead, Dave.
Also, interesting relic generation, with 4 of the relics being over on Vilese's side of the map, which is something we usually look at when we're talking about Lithuanians.
Let me see what we have here. Where are they? One, yeah. Definitely a huge advantage for Villese in the relic department, that's for sure. I'm just wondering what the opening is going to be. Both players are going for the deers, and Nicov already going up super fast. So what we'll see from him is just a straight up scout play from him. And look, Nicov on the south side, he is going for shorefish, which I absolutely love. He's not taking the berries, he's going for the shorefish. And yeah, Villese on the other side, he's taking the berries instead of the shorefish.
With this map being in the pool, it makes me wonder why Villese picked Indians on the first one that we had. And not this, and didn't like save it. Surely there was a better civilization you could have gone for there, but maybe not.
Yeah, I'm just thinking if you're using Berbers in the first one and Indians here, this should be better, right?
Yep.
But maybe he was thinking that with Berbers, reaching Castle Age, you will have great possibilities with the cheaper cavalry units to get a lot of units out soon in Castle Age and then be able to raid your opponent to death.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that was his thought process, but most likely I would have utilized Indians here just due to the lovely shorefishes, right?
And Nicov even going for another mill next to the deer and the shorefish. Ooh,
Yeah.
that's a nice mill. I like it.
Yeah, great placement, right? Great map awareness of Nicov, and just by how things are shaping out, it feels like Nicov has the advantage here, or the better build here in Dark Age, or at the start. Dave, what are you thinking about the stone?
Well, we
placement
got
on this
these random one tiles, and then I guess, is it only one tiles here?
It is one tile, exactly.
Yikes.
I personally love that, because it puts your the player into a position where he really has to think about how much he wants to commit onto stone here.
Yeah.
So I think it's a nice twist.
Especially with the Berbers. Like the Lithuanians, I guess lattice are okay, but you can accomplish basically the same thing with like paladins or cavalier, right? But
Yeah,
camel archers give you a very kind of unique unit to go for with the Berbers. And
Yep.
if you have to go from one patch of stone to the other, it's going to be a lot harder to get into
Yep.
those.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, 2 scouts here from Nicov on the north side, so he will be able to do some shenanigans here, but Villese, he's standing well defended here with the spearmen, so nothing is going to happen here, I
And
suppose.
now he goes out to the fish. Okay. So he's made 2 mills now. The second one coming forward on the double pond. Got another one
Yep.
on the pond to the back. He's just going to defend with military for the time being. So he's
Yep.
waiting until all his turkeys and his boar and his deer and berries are in and stuff like that. And then he goes out to the external food sources instead of dropping down those farms. So we'll see what kind of food boost he gets from that.
Yeah. I'm kind of surprised he has chosen to make that, that order.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, I'm at least satisfied that he's utilizing the shortfish, because if he had not done that, it would have been very, very problematic, and he would have taken a huge disadvantage compared to Nicov, because Nicov has been to the shortfish so early, right? And the quick balls are very much on point now.
Oh, I was
Villese
just
is
about
not-
to say the same thing, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, he might get away with this, Phil, though.
It's a purple
Oh.
villager, but yeah, Nikov's micro is just on point here, and it feels like Nicov is playing this one a bit faster here. Now the raid is also coming in for Villese here on the north side, or yeah, from Nikov's base. And is he able to trap those?
He's
No,
trying.
he's not.
No, no.
Misclick. Yeah, it was a good idea, right? And in the meanwhile, he's losing 2 scouts. He's losing 2 scouts, Dave.
And this
against
is
those
why players like Doubt won't even try for that.
Exactly.
He'll just let him run right past, because if there's one thing that Doubt knows, it's his own limitations, Jordan.
Yeah. He doesn't have an ego, right? He just
Oh yeah,
accepts that
of course, never, not an ego at all. No,
Dow doesn't have an ego when playing. No.
Of course not.
No, like he would be the last player we could think of to have
Have
big
an ego.
right?
Yeah, I think if you like, oh wow, another villager kill.
Oh,
Maybe?
that hurts so
No?
much.
Yes.
That hurts so much.
Yikes.
Just in time, sneaking in there, and Nicov has managed to get himself a lovely 3 villager advantage in the meanwhile, and he will be much faster to Castle Age than his counterpart, I would say. Man, Dave, I can tell I'm already here. My brain is stopping to function.
Oh,
here.
you're getting caster brain.
No, I'm getting tired here.
Yeah, man.
Like my brain is not working as it's supposed to anymore.
Yeah, no, you're getting the fog of being streaming for too long, and especially casting for too long. You start saying words and you don't know what you're saying. You know you're saying something, but you have no idea where the sentence is gonna end.
Dave, it feels like this was 100% perfectly described that you have been in this situation already.
Yeah. It's like, for me, it's when I pass like the 6-hour mark and then things just start to blur together.
Especially when you are casting team game Black Forest, right? Which every game 1 hour, then he's like,
Yeah.
You feel it. Okay, Dave. So what are we seeing now?
Well,
Nicov going for this. Yeah, go ahead.
It's not too far behind, actually. And I think the fish really helped him. He's going to run out of fish pretty soon. He's actually going to the stone. Okay, and he's gone to the gold at the back, which he can't really quick wall. He's going to have to defend that with just Spearman. And Nicov has seen that he's gone to the stone. And Villese dropping down some farms now. So Nicov doesn't have farms. So this might be a little bit of an awkward transition for him. He did get Horse Collar this time, but he's going to have to drop a bunch of those down to get Food Eco in.
Yeah. He has 12 on food right now. So in theory, if he is ready to plant more farms, which he is doing indeed, he will be able to sustain the 2 stable production here. And he will be fully focusing on the night play. And that's the good thing for Berbers, right? Oh, no way. Okay, that was not in time. Almost had good quick walls here by Nicov. The Berber player, he doesn't mind that too much though, because he has access to very cheap camels, right? And therefore, he in theory has the tools to him to be able to keep up with that.
Okay, Villese trying to get that last villager. Nicov has the Spearman there though. It's only been 2 villager kills for Nicov. So it's not like the end of the world, right? And of course, Berbers, I say, like, Lithuanians have the better start with the extra food, but the speed on the Berber villagers actually comes into play, especially with farming as well. So Villese has an advantage that'll last the entire game, basically.
Exactly. I'm wondering, he's not adding a second stable yet. So I'm curious what path he's going to go for. The good thing is for Villese, and I'm not sure if he's aware of that. Let's quickly check the Fog of War. Yeah, he doesn't really know the relic positions except 2. So he doesn't really have an intel where the other 3 are going to be at. And he doesn't know that he has a very fortunate spot there, right?
Does Nicov know where they are? Oh yeah, Nikov's got great scouting. Holy.
Yeah, that's insane. He has such a great map awareness, right?
Look at where the castle's forced to go from Villese, because he can't wall at the back there. He can wall at the front. Usually you see that castle coming at the front, but there's golds back here. Villese needs access to it. He protects the wood lines as well. Villese has gone for a camel to open up, but the amount of knights on the field, the camel's not going to be able to get too much done. It's going to need a monastery, likely, to push this back.
Yeah, especially he only has 2 camels right now, and 1 stable producing the camels, right? But Nicov, he's just going to be overwhelming here, I feel like. It's just very good play by him, and in the meanwhile, he's also adding his 3rd TC in the meanwhile. 40 villages against 37, 14 military against 7. It looks good for Nicov right now, I would say.
Still, camel archers are dangerous, especially if you can mass them up enough.
Yep.
And Villese going for that 2nd TC behind. I just love to see a monastery from him to push these knights away. Also to start trying to collect those relics. I think losing that scout trying to go after that villager was a big deal from Villese, because he just had no information now on where the relics are.
Exactly. And that's just a huge misplay, right? Committing the scout here. I'd rather have the scout alive and not kill the villager than the other way. And Nicov, I feel like he's in a position right now where he feels extremely comfortable, right? He knows exactly that his opponent even invested into a castle to get the camel archers out. And in worst case, when the camel archer numbers getting out of hand, he can always go for the elite skirm transition. And with the Lithuanians, it totally makes sense because they are walking faster, right? So he will be able to catch up onto the camel archers.
Okay, Monk now coming along. Camel archers are going to help out against those spearmen. And
And
wow,
the
that was like the
conversion.
fastest conversion.
Yeah,
They
that
formed a
was a very
bond,
quick one.
Jordan. They formed a bond
Yeah,
very quickly.
yeah. Dave, I told you about the bond.
Mm-hmm.
And ever since you know that, now you understand how the monk conversion works, right?
No, doesn't help. I don't think anything will make me understand how an instant conversion works, especially if it's my unit being converted.
Yeah, I know that feeling. And I don't think there is, well, there is an explanation for that, right? But it always feels like when you are the player and the opponent has the monk against you, it's always unfair for you, right?
Yep.
That's always how it feels like.
Yep.
No.
That's the way it is.
Yeah, it feels so as well.
At least for me, anyway.
Yeah. Okay, camel archers. Like these are still in the numbers. Okay, even when he loses, or especially when he loses one, that yeah, they're not scary yet, right? And in the meanwhile, Nicov has all the time in the world to gather himself a lot of economy, right? So I feel like Villese is on the back foot here right now. He has 3 TCs though.
Nicov even going for the farthest relic first. He's going to bring that back, and then he's going to have 2 relics. He'll probably bring another one back. He'll have +3 on his knights. And it just keeps getting scarier and scarier if you're Villese. He has added that 3rd TC over there, and he does have Berbers. So his economy is going to look pretty good as Nicov now goes for Wheelbarrow to balance it out a little bit. But the military advantage, like we keep saying, just firmly in Nikov's favor.
And the monk is getting spotted by a freaking spearman. So that gives him so much knowledge already, right? And Villese is going to be able to kill that monk most likely. And then we saw a scout, a scout killing a camel in the middle of the map. Look at that. Scouts are going ham today, Dave.
Scouts are built different, dude. I like that TC from Nicov. On the hill,
I love it.
On the stone, and on the shorefish.
Mm.
Ooh, it just feels so nice. And the monk has been found by villagers, but Nicov converted a villager from Villese, and now Villese has to be worried about forward buildings somewhere around here. That's unfortunate.
I don't think he will go for one. But in general, just a good map awareness, right? And Nicov, he's very unfortunate with the relic position, and he's still trying to get those relics in. I mean, I cannot blame him. He is Lithuanians, right? You want to get those juicy relics in to get the attack boost on your knights. But yeah, Villese, how many relics do we have right now? 1 to 1. But in the south side, the relic and the monk are going to be shattered, I think. Yeah.
He should have just stood
here.
still. Like, he could have avoided this if he was just standing right there. Like, Berbers only see movement, you know? But unfortunately, he pulled it towards the army, and that's what's going to happen. And Nicov actually did end up pulling that villager back safely. Camel Archer number now it's 13. Yeah. So it's getting up to a relatively concerning number, especially if you only have 4 monks and you're counting on conversions to win you the fights. And there we go. A couple villagers killed from Nicov.
And that's kind of a problem, but also Nicov has a lot of knights. They are on +1, and but the problem is he cannot really trap those units, right? So he will always have to run after those. And Villese, he is kind of flirting with going up to Imperial Age pretty soon as well. So when you're hitting Imperial Age and with the lovely Bracer as well, he in theory can do so much. Let's see. He's 23 villagers behind though. So quite a big economy difference here.
+2 on the way. +2 on the way for the knights, and now the Camel Archer's coming in at the north, like you were about to say, I assume. And he still has to micro the +2 knights at the back.
Yeah.
And these are 10+3 knights as well, so you cannot stop. They will kill you.
Exactly. He has to be microing all of the time, while Nicov, he doesn't really have to care, right? He just sends in the knights in there, and once they are able to close the distance, like they're just completely shredding those camel archers. And Nicov, in the meanwhile, he has a great economy.
Oh, God.
104 against 80. And I don't think he will be trailing behind in terms of privilege uptime too much there.
Yeah, and he's looking for a castle too. And Villese lost all but 2 of those camel archers at the bottom. He kind of stopped. He was pretty distracted at the top side. And now he's going to have to start building them up again. And like we said, the stone situation with this map, it's very difficult because they only have these 1 tiles. If you're going camel archers, you want many castles to produce. Right now, Villese can just afford the second one.
Yeah.
And I guess there's a stone tile at the very back, so maybe he can afford a third, but then he's going to have to start branching out quite a bit. Actually forced into a TC on the other stone on the left side.
Yep. And that's kind of the big problem on this map if you are going for civilization, which is basing a lot on their strength on unique units, that you cannot really get the castles out at the same number as on a normal game because the stone is just not there at the in mass, right? Conversions coming in for both players, I guess.
Knight is going to pick off the monk. Yep, Knight gets the monk. The other 2 monks are going to die here. A good fight for Villese, but the castle's still going to be up for Jordan.
Yep.
And
For
if
Jordan,
Villese,
exactly.
or not for, fuck. See, I'm at 5 hours and 58 minutes into my stream, Jordan. I shit you not.
Oh, awesome stuff. At least we're both on the same level now, so I'm happy with that.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, I know my limits, you know?
Yeah. Oh, good stuff. Yeah, the thing is, like, Nicov, he's going for the right units here, right? He's going for elite skirms himself now, and getting the upgrades, fletching, ballistics. And the way the economy of Villese works right now is he will only have economy to sustain the camel archer production, but he will not really have the economy to switch to hussars or cavalry right now.
And if
So
he wants
camel
to keep producing camel archers, he's going to have to, you know, stall at the trebs, but he needs the trebs to push back the castle. So his numbers are really going to struggle because of that.
Yeah, he's also going for conscription instead of another trebuchet. So his trebuchet numbers are going to be a bit behind. And he wants to get another castle here on the hill there. And I think he should be able to get that. Score-wise, Dave, it's not too far apart. Economy-wise, let's not even look at that. It's like a huge difference, right? 35 villages apart. And even the economy advantage for Nicov in terms of the upgrades. Like, Nicov is looking to be in a very good position here. Handcard, chemistry coming in.
Villese is switching into light cav right now. If he could get some good raids, like Nikov's economy is going to be very open, although he has added watchtowers at the back, which is a nice touch.
Hallelujah. This is Age of Empires 4 style.
Yeah. But if he could get some light cav in there while holding with the camel archers, which I think he can do on this position, Nicov could have a really rough time at home.
Yeah, for sure. But let's see. I don't think Nicov is going to give Villese the time to use his units for raiding. I think he will have to pay attention to the middle and fight all the time. And look at the knight in the south side. He's trying to raid, but there are 2 guard towers taking care of business here.
Right, Villese is getting the +2. If you come in with the +2, well, he's still going to probably kill all those villagers.
Yeah, it looks like that. And the main fight, it has been a good trade for Nicov. Even though he doesn't have any single armor on his skirms, it's still going to be enough to push those back. And 102 villages against 106. Yeah, Villese is trailing behind in terms of population by 50 in general.
I don't think you can... Villese is trying to take this fight because he feels like he needs to do something. But that's just bad against the skirmishers. You gotta bring your cavalry there. You got +2 now on the light cab. Maybe just wait a little bit. Let the skirms poke away at your trebuchet. Don't waste your camel archer numbers, and then go in when you have like 8 cavalry. Maybe. Oh, he's going in for the bomber cannons. No!
Oh, disaster. Disaster, Dave. He lost everything. He literally lost everything he had, and he didn't have much to begin with anyway.
And
So
I bet
that's
you,
disgusting.
like, Villese is going to look back at that game and at this game if he loses and think about that moment. Like, why did I do that? I know I was in a disadvantage, but at least I had a chance to do something. And now Nicov might actually, if he loses, might look at losing that bomber cannon and think, hey, why did I send it that far forward?
Oh god. Yeah, we must not forget both players. They've been playing for the last hours as well, so
Yeah.
I guess they are a bit exhausted as well. But okay, Nicov going for the switch to cavalry right now. And yeah, he doesn't have the resources yet to go for paladins. I guess he will wait a bit for that. But once paladins hit the fray, there's nothing which Villese can do anymore, I think.
And Nicov is just targeting the camel archers. Those light cav do have the final armor upgrade. So they are kind of tanking a lot of damage from the skirms, and they push them back quite a bit.
Yeah.
Cavalier on the field now. The camel archers can do decently against the cavalier as long as the light cav hold back the skirmishers, but the treb will fall.
Yep. Man, this is... I don't know, Dave. This is getting closer, I feel like.
If Nicov had that bomber cannon, that second castle never goes up for Villese. He needs to build it somewhere else.
Yeah,
Nicov
exactly.
can continue pushing here. Nicov is still doing well, though. The skirmishers are very deadly. There's only one light cav on the field. There's 10 in the queue there from Villese. But look at what Villese is doing. He's got a villager in the right corner, and he's got light cav coming in. And this was the danger for Nicov, I think. Getting raided at home, and you're not paying attention, and you still can't push back on the front side.
Yeah, but still, Dave, if we are thinking about everything, like Nicov, he's reacting immediately, and he will not let another stable be planted here in his base. And just over 182 population against 125.
Yep.
Just such a huge difference. And Nicov now has also resources to go for Paladin if he wanted to do that. And there's enough gold on this map, right? So in theory, it is an option for him to do so.
Another bomber cannon being taken out by light cav randomly on the other side.
Yeah. And the other one being taken out by skirms. I don't know. 170 Paladin coming up for Nicov now. And I think that's going to be the nail in the coffin. Also map control wise. Nicov having such a great position. He's also building another castle here on the south side. I think it would have been better to have it a bit more to the stone there, but okay, that's just my personal preference. And yeah, the castle is going to be repaired by Villese. He has a lot of stone still remaining in his bank account, but I don't think he's going to save that one for too long anymore.
The camel archers just really haven't contributed much in a very long time.
Yes. Yeah.
They're not even, like, really killing that many cavalier because Nicov is keeping them back, and every time they come forward, the skirmishers are sniping them, and Nicov is more than happy to throw away a few skirmishers to take out those camel archer numbers.
Exactly. For sure. And Paladins is 20 seconds away. How many cavalries does he have? 9. So we will have 9 Paladins. And, you know, it's always giving you a great feeling to have Paladins in a 1v1.
In a 1v1, yeah. Yeah.
It's just a lovely feeling. And that also is an indicator for your opponent that, please get out of my game. I have enough resources to back that one up.
And like you said, there's just no counter on the field right now to these paladins. Maybe if they were elite camel archers, maybe if he had 40 of them, and it was all walled on the side, so, you know, Nicov had to funnel through a choke point, maybe that's a play, but at the moment, skirmishers still coming forward. Paladins on the field for Nicov. These are 14 plus 5 paladins with 15 in the queue.
Yep. How many stables does he have? It feels
He's
like
only got
not too
4.
many.
He's got 4.
4,
I think.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's not enough. He needs around 8 right now, right? Especially with the economy he's having. But the castle, Dave, is finally going to go down, doesn't it?
Castle. Yeah, he's given up on it. It goes down. We had some light cav doing work in the economy from Nicov, but those are all gone now. Nicov now goes for a castle on the left-hand side. There's a monk there from Villese, so maybe he can convert a villager, but it's not going to stop it.
No.
And another bombard cannon goes down.
1 HP.
Oh, the last shot.
The last one. The
Yeet.
last one. Yep.
That's an Olympic javelin thrower right there. He did the spin and everything.
Yeah, it made it work. It definitely made it work. And man, it's so crazy when you have camel arch or in general ranged units in the castle, how strong the cost is.
I was thinking he should have done that maybe earlier when the skirms were coming in instead of losing them. But he does tap out, and Nicov takes the victory. And this is Jordan's Medieval Brawl #1 champion. Right here is Nicov.
Nicov made it work, and I casted all the series from him. So, you know, it felt like I had a good idea who's going to be winning today. No, it's just crazy stuff. Hallelujah. I'm so drained right now. So drained. Dave, thank you so much for being part of the cast.
Yeah, man. I'm actually really excited for these going forward. I think it's a really cool idea to have something, you know, standard every week. And congrats to Nicov. Who did he beat today? Who did he go through?
First, Mr. Yo, 2-1.
What?
Yep. And
Good
then
day.
Winchester. And then Winchester.
And then Villese?
Yeah.
That's actually kind of nuts, dude. That's absolutely nuts.
Yes. Yes. Like, phenomenal tournament by him. Great stuff.
Wow. Okay. Well, Jordan, it was a pleasure as always. Congratulations and well done on the tournament. And
thank you so much, Dave.
Yep.
Yes, Dave. I would be happy to have you more as a caster.
Well, let's not
for the
get
future
too.
ones.
Well, let's not get too crazy here. I don't know.
Okay. Okay. I will approach you a bit later. You know?
All right, dude.
So okay. So he's going to be the one to hang up first, I suppose.
No, you hang up. Did he actually hang up? He did. Fuck it, he did. He did. I guess he hung up. He did. I told him to hang up, and he hung up. Rip.